Zhuo Fan just outbid the Sword Emperor's people with a map drawn in human waste. The Luo clan's moneybags are making enemies faster than they can count them. Like and subscribe to see how long that luck holds. Zhensheng's face twitched and fell, glaring at the other booth. Senior uncle, who is that? Oh, that must be the Luo clan. The old man squinted and said, they're not with them, just a group that got fame from throwing their money around in Gambling Town recently. Nothing but moneybags. Nothing. They go after 8 Emperor's people without any backing. I can't lose now. What about Sword Emperor's sex reputation? Su Zhensheng shouted. 30 million. Zhensheng, the elder snapped, a little too late. Youths could never handle a challenge right, irking for a fight at the slightest provocation. 30 million was his yearly allowance for training, yet it was all thrown over some unknown useless bauble. The old man cursed at him for being a sore loser, while Fang Min rejoiced under the second-hand attention. Zhuo Fan casually replied, sacred stones. The entire stands were stirring, with all eyes fixed on his booth in shock. 20 million sacred stones over some random crap. That was no longer betting, but throwing cash around. What kind of moneybags are behind that curtain? Su Zhensheng choked, grimacing, unable to face Fang Min's hopeful eyes and choosing to direct all his hatred at the enemy. Bastard, who the hell are these Luos? Throwing away 20 million sacred stones like garbage. Did they run out of spirit stones? This is absurd. They got more money than a Sword Emperor disciple. The senior uncle was stunned, but sighed in relief. I'm glad this wastrel got his desires curbed, ha ha ha. Honored Luo clan, are you sure you want to bet 20 million sacred stones on this? The city lord was taken aback as well. All eyes awaited for the booth's reply. City lord, we only have sacred stones and will only be using them from now on. Boom, the hall exploded with clamor, never leaving the booth out of their sight. They all heard of the Luo clan's deep pockets, but to think they were bottomless. They used sacred stones right off the bat and they would keep doing it. What were the rest supposed to bet then? Many clutched their heads, grimacing out of futility to deal with this upstart. Looking at the crowd, the city lord stuck to his role. The Luo clan bid 20 million sacred stones on this item. Is there anyone else who bids more? Silent as the grave. No one at all, the city lord tried. Seeing no reaction, he declared, then the fascination of women and obsession of men shall go to the Luo clan. The city lord threw his arm and uncovered the trolley to reveal a dazzling prismatic hairpin, decorated with 18 crystalline pearls of incredible clarity that mesmerized the crowd. The girls in particular looked spellbound, holding them under its mystical spell. Prismatic virtuous hairpin, created from refined metal 180 times and adorned with pearls, each priceless. As a woman, wearing such a pearl hairpin would magnify their beauty, emphasize their elegance, and perfect their image. The city lord went on, alas, it can't be considered anything more than a hairpin. Any man that would buy it is bound to have their hearts bleed in regret going home with this trinket, ha ha ha. The audience burst out in laughter, most of which were men, of course. As for the women, they were just enamored with the pearl hairpin. The Ruby Cloud sect women, even Mei Sangu, weren't any different, their eyes sparkling like that of a young girl. Fang Min bit her lip, giving Su Zhensheng a reproachful look. You're useless. You couldn't even buy a hairpin. Sister Min, it's good that he didn't. It's nothing but a pointless decoration worth less than 100 spirit stones. As if. It has its uses and I wanted it. Fang Min whined like a spoiled brat. Chu Qingcheng nodded at the side, envious. Sure, it's not valuable, but it'll be nice to be able to wear it just once. You, ha. Fang Min scoffed, no amount of hairpins will work on someone as hopeless as you. Chu Qingcheng pouted with a lowered head. The city lord turned to the Luo clan to say, of course, a sword is worthy of a hero, as makeup is sublime on a lady. We've been mocking its value only from a man's standpoint. For a woman, however, especially a breathtaking beauty as young Miss Luo, it is another matter entirely. With your wealth, it is not just about money when bidding on the hairpin, but a must-have accessory. Take the hairpin to young Miss Luo. Yes, an attendant took the trolley with the item. All the eyes that glittered as the item passed belonged solely to women filled with envy. Hold, a voice from the booth came. Wah. Give this hairpin to Ruby Cloud Sect's young Miss Chu Qingcheng. Everyone got rowdy again, all whispering as they turned in Ruby Cloud Sect's direction. Luo clan just threw away 20 million sacred stones just so it can gift it to Ruby Cloud Sect. Are they their backers? The Ruby Cloud Sect group was baffled as well. Fang Min turned eager to Mei Sangu. Senior aunt, is the Luo clan with us? The elder stared at her hard, tense. With Ruby Cloud Sect having such a wealthy branch, it will make the last bidding dangerous. I don't know, sect leader didn't tell me anything. Were they sent to help? Mei Sangu was floundering. An attendant brought the item over, bowing. Senior, who might Miss Qingcheng be? Whoosh, all eyes focused on Chu Qingcheng, who looked out of sorts as she raised a hand. The attendant smiled and bowed again as he presented the hairpin. As misheard, the Luo clan's master gifts you this. Please take it, miss. Chu Qingcheng operated on reflex at this point, too overwhelmed to speak. Before she did reach it, however, another hand flicked the cover and moved to grab it right in her face. With a cold eye, the attendant dodged the insidious hand, staring at the owner. Miss, you're not Chu Qingcheng and I can't give it to you. I'm the head senior sister of Ruby Cloud Sect, Fang Min. If Luo clan told you to give Ruby Cloud Sect the time, then why can't I have it? Fang Min's eyes burned with jealousy as she grinded her teeth. The man spat, Master Luo bought the hairpin, and it's our duty to give it to the rightful owner. Gambling Town abides by this rule. Since Sir wished for young Miss Qingcheng of Ruby Cloud Sect to have it, it's clear that it doesn't belong to the sect itself. Damn you, Minner, stop making a scene. You're only making a fool of yourself. Fang Min was about to flip out, but Mei Sangu shouted. She then smiled. Qingcheng, it's his gift, so take it. Chu Qingcheng nodded with a smile, taking the item offered by the attendant and adorning the hairpin in her hair. The clothes made the man, or the woman in this case, as the hairpin blended flawlessly with the perfect girl, turning her otherworldly. Qingcheng, did you find her? Luo Yuncheng heard Zhuo Fan shouting and flinched. Did I hear right? Is she from Ruby Cloud Sect? Zhuo Fan nodded and eased a long breath. Yes, it's truly unfortunate that she is so close to Ruby Cloud Sect. It's sure to make things worse at one point. Then congratulations, Li Jingshan muttered, looking strained. Zhuo Fan cared not, saying, Elder Li, there's something strange about the secrecy around Qingcheng in Ruby Cloud Sect. Look into it as well as what events happened 100 years ago. I have a feeling that Hag is setting her up for something. Sure, Steward Zhu, I'll go check it out later. Thanks, Zhuo Fan frowned, his mind elsewhere. The city lord once again announced, ladies and gentlemen as well as seniors, the first item found an owner, but you needn't fret, for our second item is far more precious. Bring it in, 30 million, the city lord flinched, looking again at the Luo clan booth with a twitchy eye. Sir, I've yet to call out the starting price. Who cares, I just gotta have it. Boom. The stands were taken by storm once more. The first item's only clue to its value was the city lord's base price, but now that was shot out the window, placing a sky-high bid off the bat regardless if it was junk or diamonds. Though it would be such a shame for those 30 million sacred stones if it ended up being a bust. Thinking about it from a different angle, what shame would there be if they're filthy rich? The real question is, just how loaded are they to burn so much money? The focus of the gathering has changed from betting to figuring out the mystery behind the Luo clan. Where did they come from? The city lord sighed but stuck to his role, calling it thrice. Anyone else? Anyone at all? Someone? Everyone was silent. Knowing nothing about that thing on the stage and already having a 30 million bid on it, no one would be insane to take such unwarranted risk. The item goes to the Luo clan. The city lord slammed his gavel. What is it, you might ask? Let us see. Give it to young Miss Qingcheng from Ruby Cloud Sect, thanks. Zhuo Fan cut him off, making the city lord stumble. He gave a powerless and strained sigh as he said, Sir, you don't even wish to know what you bought. No, since everything will be delivered to young Miss Qingcheng. Zhuo Fan's tone was irreproachable. The city lord gave a casual wave, sending the attendant with the item. Everyone watched as the unknown item moved away. This never happened once in the history of Mist City. Ruby Cloud Sect's group was dumbfounded. Who's Luo clan? Why are they just giving us stuff? They want to work their way into our good graces? Yeah, that's gotta be it. But why then are they sending it to just one person, the youngest disciple? That was what had these girls stumped. So began an endless trail of unknown items sent to Chu Qingcheng, with every outrageous bid from Zhuo Fan before the city lord ever got to rile up the crowd. Chu Qingcheng had to do nothing and found herself swimming in treasures with a blank look. As for the people coming here for the thrill of betting, they were left powerless against such money bags, turning into props to make him look good. Since he won all the items with an impossible price, the others had nothing on him. It was a sad day for any gambler. A dreamer or a plain addict, it mattered not the heavy loss or the crushing defeat, but being unable to bet. The city lord felt the worst of it by far. With every dreaded call from Zhuo Fan, an item was bought without even being able to get a word in. The only dignity as host remaining was to call the next item. It was a sad, sad day for him. Now that all the items were gone, it was City Lord's time to shine once more. With the commodities over, we would first like to thank our honored Luo clan for being our greatest investor. The next item shall be the greatest the city has ever seen. The 8 emperors of the sacred domain shall now compete over our last item, Nether Sea Map. Others are welcome to join, so long as you can stomach it and have the strength to back it, ha ha ha. 8 emperors, the tired or bored gamblers thought the last item might be their time to shine. They were happy chasing the thrill, even if it meant losing the shirt off their backs. Hearing 8 emperors being mentioned, however, woke them up on the spot. You kidding me? Bet with the 8 emperors. I'm too young to die. Not a sound was made in the entire hall, with the audience feeling a chill down their backs. The city lord gave them a cold smile, then smirked at the Luo clan's booth. You can have the world's wealth in your pocket, but not even you have the gall to challenge these powerhouses. 8 Emperor's representatives, this is a request from the gambling emperor. Please present your bids on the table so that the winner can be declared without any hard feelings. Bring chairs and a table. Someone brought a large table and 7 seats. The city lord smiled, being the first to face it and take out a gray map to display it on the table. The people in the booths huffed and made their way out, including Mei Sangu's group, each looking impressive. The audience had their first glimpse of real power. What does the gambling emperor intend with this? Give his town a show? Yeah, as each of us are people of repute, why should we bother giving these people any consideration by showing our competition? Does the gambling emperor want to inflate his image? Are you planning on leading all of the other emperor representatives by the nose? Curses and sneers sounded at the table as each representative took their seats, with their people standing behind. The city lord smiled. People, since you came to Gambling Town, you must gather around the betting table. The Nether Sea map can't just be given, since the gambling emperor has been wanting the Nether Sovereign's seat of enlightenment as well. Why invite us here for betting? The city lord's eyes shone, showing a sinister smile. We can't sell it to you, but we can lose it as long as you have the means to win it. Mei Sangu squinted and huffed. Fine, and how do we play? I'm sure the common games of chance are beneath such fine people. So we'll be using riddles. Guessing right makes you the winner. In case of a draw, the house wins. The city lord smirked. Riddle? The 7 people nodded. Fine, then let the games begin. Wait, to the shock of everyone in there, a shout came from the Luo clan booth. Add another seat, the Luo clan is joining. What? The crowd stirred. The Luo clan is competing with the 8 emperors. Is it suicidal, or do they have backing? The representatives themselves were taken aback, each trying to guess their history. With such nerves of steel, they had to be something else to join such a bet. Did they represent Sacred Mountain? The city lord smiled. Bring another seat. There's plenty of room around the betting table. One empty chair appeared on the side of the large table, with everyone fixed on it with strange gazes. The Luo clan walked out of their booth and made their way down. Chu Qingcheng and Ruby Cloud's sex girls gasped. You, what are you doing here? As part of the Luo clan, it's only natural that I follow young miss. Something wrong? Zhuo Fan beamed, walking in front. His mysterious manner gave others no means of reading him. Qingcheng stared at Zhuo Fan, getting more confused by the second. The other girls couldn't wrap their heads how a magnate like the Luo clan would take in bone-tempering garbage. Zhuo Fan couldn't care less about what they thought, smiling at one particular girl. Qingcheng, did you like what I gave you? Ah, you gave them to me. Yes, did you like them? Zhuo Fan sighed. Sorry for giving you random things. We were only together for a short time and couldn't tell what you'd like, so I just gave you everything to pick the right one for you. If you don't like anything, just throw them away. But tell me what you like so I'll be sure to pick the best for you next time. It's fine, they're all nice. Chu Qingcheng blushed red hot, lowering her head as her heart blossomed in her chest. Zhuo Fan smiled. Nice. What were they then, since I couldn't see? Tell me all about them so I can give you more in the future. You don't have to waste your money. Humph, he didn't waste anything, especially since he didn't even want that stuff. So he just showered you with them while he was at it. You really think he'll do it again? Fang Min was stewing in her jealousy as she scoffed. Master Luo must have bought all that to show off, regardless what stuff it was. Who knows what the punk must have said to his master to gain the right to handle such garbage. He's nowhere near capable of getting millions of sacred stones from his master just to burn them for you. Yeah, he's just a lucky bastard to have such a nice master to take him in. What a shame to have picked dirt from the ground. Of course he has no say over his master's money, not to give it to you at least. Su Zhensheng was also irked. Junior sister, you better stay away from him. He's nothing but a lapdog. Do you wish to rely on someone's charity? Chu Qingcheng looked hurt, giving Zhuo Fan a long look before saying, Senior sister, but he's really nice. Even if he didn't buy all of that, just as thoughtful. Come again. Dumping the stuff his master didn't want on you is thoughtful? Dumb girl, are you so cheap? Fang Min glared hard, then turned to Mei Sangu. Senior aunt, shouldn't you handle this? Junior sister Qingcheng is being misled. Mei Sangu gave Zhuo Fan a cold look, speaking to the seated Luo Yuncheng. Girl, leash your servant from his obnoxious flirting. Hey, old bat, it's you who should tighten the chain on those she-dogs. Their incessant barking is driving us nuts. Luo Yuncheng bit back. The audience gaped. The Luo clan just taunted an emperor's representative. How cool is that? Just who are they? Mei Sangu was nearing her 10th millennium, yet just got insulted by a wee girl. Of course she'd explode, slapping the table and flaring her aura at Luo Yuncheng. You have some nerve, dumb girl. Wuxia figure flashed in front of Luo Yuncheng, spreading his cold aura to counter Mei Sangu's temper, meeting in an explosive clash. Mei Sangu shook her heart in shock. Bali Yuyu fell back, glaring at Mei Sangu in challenge. Old bat, not bad at all. How did this miss? Mei Sangu sized Bali Yuyu up, shocked by the second. The rest were baffled while also raising the Luo clan's importance in their minds. Mei Sangu was a tested and true emperor stage expert, but Bali Yuyu was a mere spirit king. Despite the gap, they were matched. No wonder the Luo clan joined the 8 emperors' fray. The representatives' hearts sank, no longer dismissing them. The audience was restless. Bali Yuyu took a deep breath, turning to Zhuo Fan, who only had eyes for Chu Qingcheng. Steward Zhu, you caused this mess, yet you're flirting to the side. Yeah, Steward Zhu, you said you wanted to bet, so we came along. Why should you stay behind and relax while I'm taking it over for you? Luo Yuncheng gave him a smile, her tone bitter. Steward, Chu Qingcheng started. Why your Luo clan's steward? The rest were astonished. How did a bone-tempering cultivator end up being a magnate steward? Don't they care about power when headhunting? I'll explain later. With a wide smile, Zhuo Fan rushed back, leaving Chu Qingcheng in confusion. Zhuo Fan reached Luo Yuncheng, and she casually ceded her seat. Li Jingshan tidied it up before gesturing to Zhuo Fan to take it with utmost respect. The audience was staring dumbstruck as the Luo clan's steward took the seat of honor. But why? The city lord gave him a long look of confusion, but knew he was valued, so he also treated the steward with the respect he deserved, regardless of cultivation. Sir Zhuo, so young and so promising. Thank you, city lord. We may now begin the bet. Gladly, the city lord nodded and addressed the 8 people at the table. With all participants in order, I shall now speak of the rules. First of all, money dictates the chips you hold. The more you have, the easier to advance and become the house. The poorest needs to win bouts with the house to stay in the game. The instant he loses, it's game over. Mei Sangu squinted, which means you take turns playing. The city lord snickered. Let's say, for example's sake, that we both take our treasures. If mine proves to be worth more, then I'm the house and you have to bet against me. Win and you get everything to bet with the next contender. Beat all the others and you'll be crowned victorious. The people gasped, so before we get to challenge you, we first have to fight among each other. That means all the treasures might end with you while we get nothing. Yes, such a possibility exists, but it so happens that I'm the holder of the priceless Nether Sea map. All the treasures here can't hope to come close to it. That makes me, as a matter of course, the final house. Before that, however, give your all. One more thing, the first bettor has an advantage. He might have 2 treasures and can be a house, ha ha ha. Their faces sank and gnashed their teeth. The gambling emperor was evil, getting all of them to duke it out and still having a high chance of losing everything at the very end. The map was his and so would be their treasures. We'd get nothing. Folding, however, was not an option either. Stealing, on the other hand, would leave dire consequences to everyone here. It was a different item from that 9 Serenity's secret records. It had instant use, while this was merely a guiding tool. It was not worth waging war over something so vague. The contenders finally made their decision, nodding. Let's do this. Whoosh. Mei Sangu revealed her prismatic cup. This is Ruby Cloud Sec's core treasure, purple gold glazed cup, a 4th grade sacred weapon. The demonic emperor allowed me to bring the demonic gauntlet, a 3rd grade sacred weapon. An old man with black hair sighed as he threw in a claw with dark energy oozing out. He knew it was less than the purple gold glazed cup. Zhuo Fan's eyes shook. It was his finest work back in the day, given to his treacherous disciple. To think I'd see it here. The other representatives took out their own as well, some 4th, other 3rd grade. The highest, however, belonged to the Sword Emperor, Howling Sword, 5th grade. The others gasped. This guy can become the 2nd house. He doesn't seem to mind using something so valuable in a bet. The city lord went by the book as he turned to Zhuo Fan. Luo clan, the item of your choosing. Magnates like them only have money. They have no legacy, only building their wealth over time. Humph. Fang Min found the right moment to mock them. Zhuo Fan smiled, and in a shower of light, a draconic roar echoed. The gaudy glow had them gawking. Clink, the light trailed over their heads and landed on the table, revealing the glorious and ostentatious 3-meter-long sword, with even a dragon scale on it, no less. The city lord's face twitched, peak 5th grade sacred weapon. It's close to 6th grade even, a true rarity in the sacred domain. That's far from all. City lord, would you care to take a closer look upon the way it was made? This is by no means amateur work, nor your average 5th grade sacred weapon. Luo Yuncheng raised an eyebrow in pride. The city lord bobbed his head. Indeed, young Miss Luo is right. The maker has instilled his peak sword arts into it, making it even have a spirit. Incredible. I fear not even a 6th grade sacred weapon might compare. It's a certainty, not just a possibility. Zhuo Fan grinned as he pointed out, City Lord, look here, could anyone get their hands on such ingredients? The city lord took a closer look and gasped in shock. Why, you mean to say it's made with a scale from a dragon king from the dragon lands? The audience widened their eyes and cried out. Even the representatives were shaken up as they stared in disbelief. They have the nerve to have a sacred weapon made of a dragon king scale. Do they have a death wish? Why, Miss Luo, don't you know if the dragons from the dragon lands find out? City Lord's face twitched hard, barely finding the words to speak. Zhuo Fan waved off his concern. City Lord, relax, we don't fear them, which is why we've taken it out. A dragon king is a peak 10th level spiritual beast, stronger than the average emperor. We took one's scales to make a weapon out of it, yet we'd be scared to let them find out, ha ha ha. I see. City Lord gave a bright smile, his heart racing as his image of Luo clan grew in his mind. Dragons were kings among spiritual beasts, with many powerful beings among them. Not even the 7 sacred mountains would mess with them, but the Luo clan did. Just who has their backs? Everyone's disdain of them was cut short then and there. The City Lord gave them a long look, then declared, "People, I believe you all know the value of a 5th grade sacred weapon. All of your treasures combined can't even match Luo clan and Sword Emperor's items each, with Luo clans being slightly better. Besides me, Luo clan is the final house, followed by the Sword Emperor representative, then all of you according to your treasures." Objections? It's plain to see this is fair, so of course there aren't any. A grimacing old man took the demonic gauntlet as he turned to savage-looking young master. "Wraith Scholar, your shadow veil is 4th grade. As the demonic emperor's representative, bet with me, with you being the house." The scholar had a creepy smile as he fanned himself with a ghastly fan, nodding, "Sure, I shall be happy to face Thousand-Faced Devil. You ask first? No, it's your right as the house." "With pleasure," snapping the fan closed, the scholar said, "Answer me this, was it the demonic emperor the one who destroyed the 36 gates of Demon Light Castle 3 years ago?" Thousand-Faced Devil's face shook, stammering, "Wraith Scholar, why do you say that? Didn't you investigate and found it to be the Falcon Emperor?" "Yes, we thought so as well, but after fighting among each other and suffering losses, it was the demonic emperor who took advantage of the gap to step in." "How do you explain that? What's so strange about them relying on the demonic emperor for protection to avoid casualties?" "None, actually, but in our war, neither side won, with the prideful demonic emperor expanding his domain for thousands of miles. It baffled both of us." Wraith Scholar snickered as he stared Thousand-Faced Devil down. "You're his right-hand man, so I would like to hear it from you. Spare us both the trouble of lying, it won't work. Everyone here knows, I'm sure, just that there is no proof. The gambling emperor is known to be fair at the gambling table. If his people judge it to be a lie, you shall become the loser." Taking a deep breath, Thousand-Faced Devil eyed the cold City Lord. He already had a decision in mind and knew the truth. "Fine, I admit it to be the demonic emperor's doing, but that's because I only needed that cleared up. You win." Wraith Scholar snickered as he pushed his treasure over. "The Wraith Emperor will be sure to join the Falcon Emperor to settle this debt with the demonic emperor. Tell him to be ready for a reckoning." Thousand-Faced Devil's face twitched as he took it. "I will tell him. Farewell." Wraith Scholar stood up and cupped his hands, thanked the gambling emperor for his fairness. "I shall now take my leave." The others looked puzzled as he went. "Isn't this supposed to be a riddle? How come it became truth or dare?" Bam! Thousand-Faced Devil slapped the table in anger. "City Lord, is this the gambling emperor's intention? The gambling emperor only proposed betting, not involving himself in your issues. Now Sir has 2 items and can be the house." The City Lord smiled. Thousand-Faced Devil was outraged, but he held it in. Gambling emperor knew all along what happened then. He kept it hidden for so long not to gain hatred. With the 2 having no proof of hanging it over the demonic emperor's head, they could do nothing. Today, however, he had no choice but to admit it, thus giving them an excuse. It wasn't his fault though, since the demonic emperor gave him strict orders to get that map. If he denied it, he would have gotten back only to die. The demonic emperor's cruelty was well known. Taking a deep breath, Thousand-Faced Devil could only keep going. The demonic emperor was already tough enough not to fear the other 2. All that mattered was the map. So he turned to the Falcon Emperor's representative to shout, "I'm the house now, please." The grizzled old man met his challenge. Thousand-Faced Devil did have some skill though, using his cunning and favoritism to pave his way forward and win many treasures. He was now facing Ruby Cloud sect. How many stars are in the sky? With so many shining, who can say? "Can you?" Mei Sangu retorted. Thousand-Faced Devil snickered and shook his head. "I don't either, making this a draw, but I'm the house, so that makes it my win. Hand it over." Thousand-Faced Devil threw the purple gold glazed cup in his bag. Ruby Cloud sect's group was stumped. Mei Sangu stammered, "Wait, I've yet to ask my question." "You did, or does that not count?" City Lord smiled and shrugged. "Gambling town is fair. Your question was the same as his, and with neither knowing the answer, the house won." The women grimaced. Zhuo Fan chuckled. The devil now turned to the old man with the white eyebrows, taking out his treasures as he spoke with hatred. "Brother Liu, listen closely to my question. Wait, the old man smiled and said, I'm the house, so I go first. Go ahead, guess how many toes I had on my 5,000th birthday. Thousand-faced devil looked down at his shoes, making a wild guess, 10. I've never heard of you suffering heavy wounds and shouldn't have anything cut off. The old man grinned, taking out a shoe to reveal all his 5 toes. Then his eyes shone and pointed. A bloody toe splattered on the floor. The old man sweated as he laughed. Today's my 5,000th birthday and only have 9 toes. You lose, thousand-faced devil. That's brutal. Thousand-faced devil gave him a long look, wanting to refute, but he pushed the treasure over. Fine, old man, I lost. Now Liu was the house. Even in a draw with Sword Emperor, thousand-faced devil would still lose. Kid, it's our turn. The old man wiped his brow, dragging his bleeding foot to Zhuo Fan with a forced smile. What welcomed him was a smirk. Looking down at the blood, the ghastly scene made even Ruby Cloud sex girls cover their eyes. It shocked them to the core to find someone so resolute to even harm themselves. Zhuo Fan looked back up, giving the old man a snicker. Senior, you're playing hardball. Kid, youths have little experience. There are plenty of savager people in the world than me. You'll meet them later. Letting this little frighten you proves you have no place on this stage. Ha ha ha, sir's lesson is right. I hope sir will go easy on me. You're making it hard for these old bones. The Sword Emperor must have that map. I urge you to withdraw. Kid, you don't understand the world of adults. The old man patronized. Chu Qingcheng was worried for Zhuo Fan. He looked wise and bold, making her feel like a kid would be no match for him. I just hope he won't push it and get hurt in the process. Zhuo Fan's eye held an eerie glow as he offered, please, kid, the young fear nothing but will only end up broken, ha ha ha. The old man stared at him. Extending his wounded leg, kid, the same question, how many toes did I have on my 5,000th birthday? Zhuo Fan snickered, with senior having 9, then it must be 9. Ha ha ha, kid. You think I wouldn't cut another off? The old man drew his fingers and shot for the leg, and another bloody toe fell. The old man bore through the pain, looking smug. Wrong, it's 8, the people sighed. Against such a question, no one could guess as long as he keeps cutting off his toes. The kid met his match in an aged scoundrel. Whoosh, a black light flashed, and the old man Liu shook. Below him, blood spilled like a flood, followed by a searing pain. Ah, the old man howled as he fell to the ground, leaving 2 intact feet in the pooling blood. Zhuo Fan stood across, holding a black longsword glowing eerily. I was wrong after all. I mustn't know anything, I guess, but it looks like Senior was wrong as well. You didn't have 8 toes on your 5,000th birthday, but none, ha ha ha. Everyone shivered as their eyes bugged out. The old guy was the Sword Emperor's representative that nobody dared to offend. Now a bone tempering nobody did. Wait, how did he get the strength to cut an emperor's feet off? Chu Qingcheng was frightened. She never saw Zhuo Fan cut someone down, but the familiar scene had her hesitating. Is he the same brat I've been cursing all this time? Senior uncle, are you all right? Su Zhensheng rushed to his side, then glared at Zhuo Fan. Why you dare? Zhuo Fan cut him off. What, since Senior can change the outcome, why can't I? City Lord, how do we settle this round? Tai. The City Lord's face twitched, giving him an odd look. He didn't think this kid with low cultivation had it in him to be so cruel. Zhuo Fan grinned. I knew City Lord was fair. But that was his question, and now comes mine. Although Senior doesn't look to be in shape to continue. Switch, maybe? Humph, rotten punk, I'll take his place to bet with you. Su Zhensheng gnashed his teeth and stepped forward. He then felt his senior uncle pulling his sleeve as he lay in his own blood, looking worried. Senior uncle, Sheng, you're not his match. The old man was trembling as he looked at Zhuo Fan's vile smile. I was wrong. He's no youth, but a conniving old monster. Boy, you won't win. Su Zhensheng couldn't believe his ears. He was a great peak stage spirit king, yet he couldn't win against a bone-tempering punk. The other youths on stage looked baffled. Only a few veterans caught his meaning. Mei Sangu as well could see that Zhuo Fan's eyes were beyond shifty, her opinion of him changing into fright. The slash was too clean and without hesitation, coming at an emperor no less. Such nerves and savagery didn't come from just anywhere. It was an edge forged in endless bloodshed and over a mountain of corpses. How could a bone-tempering cultivator wield such experience? The old man gripped Su Zhensheng hard, gasping for breath as he gnashed his teeth. City Lord, we give up. You bet with him. Boy, this isn't over. I will get you for taking my 2 feet. Anytime. Zhuo Fan turned toward City Lord. Care to ask, City Lord? The City Lord looked grave. Steward Zhuo, now I know why you wield a clan's power, having the skills to handle the job. Thanks, here's my question. The City Lord paused. This is the Nether Sea map. I want to know that if you got the map, how sure are you of finding it? Everyone flinched at the question, focused on the two with rapt attention as they waited for the answer. Zhuo Fan smiled. I didn't even see the map, so how sure I can be. Like with any treasure map, I'll be doing my best. Is that enough? A perfect answer, since this answer comes from your heart. Take it. The City Lord handed the map to Zhuo Fan. Looking over the aged paper, Zhuo Fan said, just like that, I've yet to ask my question. You're the house and have the highest chance of winning. Steward Zhuo's methods opened my eyes. I'm sure I can't answer it anyway. I lose, ha ha ha, the city lord said. Zhuo Fan paused, then showed a vague smile as he stashed the map in his ring. Thanks. Zhuo Fan waved and left with his group under the hard stares of everyone there. One looked forlorn, stuck between women as she sighed. He won't even look at me once. On the road, Bali Yuyu looked back to see no one, smirking. Here I thought the map was something special, but we got it easy. Easy, Zhuo Fan chuckled. Easy meant those people in there wouldn't have bled for it. Didn't you notice how pained the representatives were when taking out the treasures? Since it's so important, why isn't there anyone tailing us? Because it's just a map and not something you can use either. It's common practice of those relics to see the prize before jumping in. After we find the Nether Sea, those bastards are sure to charge all of them. Zhuo Fan sneered. The map is no treasure but a headache. They're all waiting for us to find the real deal before robbing us blind. Even the gambling emperor is no exception. Why do you think he never tried looking for it then? He had the map. I bet he couldn't figure the map out, so he went to find another that can while he lurks from behind. Why then would the other 7 go through such trouble? The other emperors haven't looked over the map, and while they knew it was hard to understand it, they still want to try. Such is greed. If he did unravel it by any chance, wouldn't he get everything? Just like, Zhuo Fan trailed off. Back then, in 9 Serenity's tomb, he unraveled its mystery. Bali Yuyu nodded and said, since it's a headache, why did we fight for it? Couldn't we be another lurking shadow instead? Oh, Yuyu, the shadows are all seasoned and famed geezers. Our Luo clan has yet to make a name for itself in sacred domain. Why hide? We're only using the map to knock on the 8 emperors' doors and enter the fray. Without it, there's no way for us to enter the 8 great lands of the sacred domain. Oh, so that's why. Who do we go to first? The demonic Emperor Zhao Chen. Zhuo Fan's eyes shone, his smile evil. Fan stood in the center of a pitch-black room. He took out a black sword as his right eye shone in 2 golden halos. Divine Eye of the Void's second stage, Void Annihilation. Bam, a ripple struck the sword, making it shiver. It then whooshed as it turned into a tan child. Sword Child had regained its freedom. Master, you're letting me out at long last. I was wrong and it won't happen again. Sword Child bowed on the spot. Zhuo Fan stared at it with a critical eye. Then where were you wrong? I disrespected my betters and was hard on young Master San. He is Master's godson and I'm just a sword. It was a clear breach in status and deco. Please, how is that your mistake? Zhuo Fan barked. You see no difference between friend or foe having no control. You're jealous and reckless. As my sword, you're closest to me. But with young Sanzi as my godson, you wanted to replace him. That's why you taunted him so much, backing him into a corner until you had no other choice than to go for the kill. Tell me I'm wrong. Sword Child was silent. Zhuo Fan continued. You know that everyone around me is a person I cherish, a comrade and a friend, treating the Sword Kings and Elder Lee's group the same way. I don't want them to feel left out and harbor ill will, leading to conflict. In any society or group, its end is sure to come by wasting all its energy on infighting. The Sword Star Empire fell because of Bailey Jingwei's rampant expansion, leading to 2 groups of Sword Kings forming and clashing. Young Sanzi is one of us. I don't want my sword and my people to be at their throats. Are we clear? Yes, Master. Don't call me Master, but Dad. Dad, Sword Child started. Zhuo Fan smiled. I told you, I don't want infighting, treating everyone as friends. You are born from my path, resembling me the most, and that makes you my son. Since you feel sour about young Sanzi, then I'll take you in as well, treating you both the same. He's your eldest brother of equal status and there's no reason to feel jealous. Yes, father, Sword Child beamed. Zhuo Fan warned, one last thing, as my spitting image, you know my standards. Demonic cultivators need not only be demonic but have principles as well. None of us may ever be allowed to be heavy-handed on our own regardless of reason. It's no different than smearing your heritage and your ancestors, taking it out on your own people. Remember demon scheming sex Zai Yu. If it were then that I've learned you had the same character as him, I wouldn't have been so light as your grandmaster was. Yes, father, I'll focus on my mentality and achieve Tao like you. I won't let demons take hold of me. Sword Child stood straight as he vowed. Nodding, Zhuo Fan patted his head and sighed. I can only hope. Creek Bali Yuyu slipped in. Steward Zhuo, someone's here for you. Who else but a distressed damsel? King Cheng. Zhuo Fan raised an eyebrow, then nodded. I'll go right now. Zhuo Fan was practically running, with Bali Yuyu rolling her eyes. Steward Zhuo, when do you plan on stealing that busybody from Ruby Cloud sect? Not now. We're not ready to take on the 8 emperors in the open. Also, Zhuo Fan smiled. The Ruby Cloud sect is where she grew up. Her heart is still there, and using force is no different than killing her parents. She would hate me forever. Taking it one step at a time is better, starting with winning her heart. Once I ruin their ties, everything else will fall in place. Bali Yuyu rolled her eyes. How long will that take? I hear she's spoiled in the sect. All the elders favor her, even her master, that crone empress. That's what worries me. Those hags are conniving banshees. King Cheng has shown nothing extraordinary about her, so how could she have caught their eyes to such a degree? Zhuo Fan asked in a frown. Speaking of, I had Elder Li look into King Cheng's past. Any news? None so far. He said he'll start once we're safe out of Gambling Town. Tell him to do it now. The Gambling Emperor's group is watching over the town. No one will try anything under their watch. Zhuo Fan said, also, with my other son here, safety won't be an issue. Tell him to get on it right away. Zhuo Fan patted Bali Yuyu's shoulder and left. She raised an eyebrow, looking oddly at Sword Child's son. You became a son as well. I can't. You might say that I've been with my father day in and day out, every minute of the hour. Sword Child showed her a toothy grin. Why wanna be my mommy? Bali Yuyu flushed and looked away, feeling defeated. Why does he only ever care about her? Zhuo Fan reached the dazzling lounge, meeting with a hesitant King Cheng pacing around. King Cheng, how did you get here? Zhuo Fan. His voice pulled her away from her worries, and then she hung her head, her shoulders slumped. Zhuo Fan knew why. Is something wrong? Zhuo Fan. Just speak your mind, after all. There's no secret between husband and wife, right? How irritating, calling me your wife. King Cheng glared at him with red cheeks, but her sadness returned once more. Zhuo Fan, I just don't know where to begin. Senior Aunt May wants you to give us the map. Zhuo Fan's brow shook, giving her a long look. King Cheng, you're putting me in a difficult position. You're my wife, yes, but the map belongs to my lord. I'm but a steward. Clan head saw greatness in me and took me in as steward. I could never betray his trust by taking what is his. I feel the same. Despite being a steward, you rely on others. Senior Aunt is asking for too much. King Cheng paused, then gnashed her teeth. Forget it, you don't have to feel bad, Zhuo Fan. I'll just tell them I failed. It's only going to get me a nagging at most. King Cheng walked away, but Zhuo Fan caught her shoulder. Wait, you're saying they're going to fault you for this? Yes, Senior Aunt won't be hard on me, but my senior sisters will mock and deride me, King Cheng muttered. He took the forlorn King Cheng into his arms and said, My poor King Cheng, my dear wife, what did you do to suffer so? Why don't you leave Ruby Cloud's sect and live with me? How could I? Master and senior aunts are so nice to me. I can take a bit of scolding. I could never betray them. Zhuo Fan knew this was coming and faked difficulty. While I can't give them the map, as long as they'll give you to me, I'll have them take a look at it. I'll have you know I'm an established painter. Give me to you? Yeah, just mention it to them. It's their problem if they agree or not. It won't have anything to do with you and they won't scold you. Zhuo Fan snickered, holding her close and cooing, Dear wife, I'm not saying that to demean you, only thinking of being together again. I would give anything for us to live together. King Cheng smiled, swooning. But then she scrutinized him. All right, but how did you cut Elder Liu's legs on the betting stage? You're not an emperor but a bone-tempering cultivator. I know, you must all be disgusted with me. No, ever since then, Senior Aunt May changed her opinion of you. How did you do it? Simple, really. Zhuo Fan snickered. Speed, ferocity, and accuracy. He was just ahead of me and complacent in his victory. I just needed something sharp enough and the result was clear to all. Not even a saint could escape from that. That can't be it. Senior Aunt said that a sword so fast could only be polished through mountains of corpses. How can you, at the bone-tempering stage? I'll be honest with you. I used to be a butcher. Zhuo Fan chuckled. Millions of pigs must have crossed these hands. Isn't that a mountain of corpses? Your senior aunt has good eyes, ha ha ha. King Cheng nodded and exclaimed, I see, only there's a big difference between a murderer and a butcher. About the same, just look at people as pigs to the slaughter. You've been gone for quite a while now. Should you head back, tell them what I said and maybe we'll seal the knot. I'll become the mighty son-in-law of Ruby Cloud sect, ha ha ha. Annoying, Zhuo Fan urged King Cheng to leave, flirting while at it. King Cheng didn't mind it, just replying in good humor. Seeing her go, Zhuo Fan's face fell, gripping his fists. Rotten Ruby Cloud sect, trying to honey trap me with King Cheng? What do you take my wife for, bastards? Sees depth, the endless hellhole where lost souls roam, their fate foretold. Who dares to tread upon our shore shall be condemned to suffer more. With mortal eyes forever blind in the abyss, their souls confined. Shuanger held a black paper covered in squiggles in an elegant room, reading the first line at the top. Murongzhu and Luo Yuncheng frowned. Murongzhu ventured, these lines are supposed to unravel the Nether Sea Map's secrets. It should, but what do they mean? Luo Yuncheng held her forehead, feeling tired. The map is covered in black dots that make no sense. The only clue is this verse. It's been 3 days already and we still couldn't find anything. Murongzhu shrugged. If it were that easy, the gambling emperor wouldn't have wagered it. Zhuo Fan was right. If he couldn't read it, give it to someone else and reap the rewards while they fight. Regardless of who can read it, he would win in the end. It seems insidious experts aren't local to only mortal domain. The ones in sacred domain are each more twisted than the last. The other girls nodded. If there was one difference between sacred domain and mortal domain, that was power. The cruel and manipulative mentality was still thriving here as well. Creak, the door opened and someone came in. Shuinger, did you find anything? It's fine either way, we about to set off for Devil Mountain. Sorry, big brother Zhu, we can't do anything. Don't let it bother you so much. You had the map for 3 days while the gambling emperor must have gotten it decades ago and still couldn't figure it out. It'd be stranger if you managed to do what an emperor couldn't. Zhuo Fan didn't mind it, taking the map and giving it a long look. Whatever, I never planned on using it anyway. It's only a means to an end to find that kid Humph. Zhuo Fan folded the map. Shuinger jumped just then. Wait, Zhuo Fan froze. What? I think I got something. Shuinger yanked the map from his stiff hand and stared hard at a black circle in a corner. Yes, why didn't I see it sooner? The black spots are just so many that this small area doesn't stand out at all. This part is actually the Phoenix constellation. Zhuo Fan asked, what's that? The Phoenix constellation is a group of stars in the southeast corner of the night sky, focused on conflicts. A change, there is chaos and fighting in the world. But with the star group being so large, how come it's so small on this map? If you hadn't folded it making it stand out, I wouldn't have seen it. You're saying this map covered in black dots is a star chart? Zhuo Fan opened the map again and gave it a careful look. He noticed some familiar star groups as well, just that it was hard to single them out with all the dark spots. Yes, the map is a depiction of stars, but heavily concealed. That's why none of the other experts could read it. We now know it's a star chart, but how do we find the Nether Sea's location? Shuinger mulled it over then jumped. Big brother Zhuo, didn't Patriarch give you that treasure? Didn't he say to use it whenever you're looking for something or someone? Right, I totally forgot about it. Since it's a star chart, Sovereign Yun, who is adept in reading stars, his treasure has to help. Zhuo Fan took out a black orb. How was he to use the two of them together, though? The black orb came with an answer. The map showed a reaction as the orb appeared, giving off gray energy before vanishing. Zhuo Fan's eyes bugged out. Where'd it go? The black orb flared black and trembled. Suddenly, all of their eyes went black and they fell flat on the floor. Waking up, they found themselves in a black area filled with stars. Where are we? What are we doing here? Luo Yunqing cried out. Zhuo Fan was calm since he had been here before. No need to panic. Our spirits have gone into the orb. It won't harm us. Look, the map. Shuinger drew their attention and pointed at the map, expanding to the point of covering the entire area. The small black circles on the map now had stars shooting between them, turning it into an actual map. Zhuo Fan cheered. It's the Sacred Domains map, but where's the Nether Sea? Over there, I think. Shuinger pointed at a bright cluster. The poem mentioned lost souls. There is where the Death Star is, always dark and shining only when death is about to take you. Since it's bright, then that must be the Nether Sea's location, a place where lost souls are buried. Zhuo Fan was thrilled. Yes, that must be it. To think we'd figure it out in the end where the Nether Sovereign is. It was worth taking the map, ha ha ha. The girls were beaming as well, with Shuinger looking worried. Big brother Zhu, do you plan to go there? Of course. A sovereign's place is a special area anyone in sacred domain would drool over. Nether Sea is going to be very dangerous. Shuinger sighed, raising a finger. Big brother Zhu, look closer. What do you think this map is? Zhuo Fan raised his head and shook as his face grew hard. With the stars on the map joined together, they drew the map of the sacred domain. But on the edge of it, they showed only one character. Death. Zhuo Fan, the Nether Sovereign is warning us not to seek out the Nether Sea, or Luo Yunqing looked worried as well. Zhuo Fan paused in thought, then smiled. Well, of course, a sovereign's seat of enlightenment would have some difficulties. Am I just going to miss out on this grand chance at witnessing the Nether Sovereign's seat of enlightenment? Zhuo Fan, all right now, let's go back. Luo Yunqing wanted to say more, but Zhuo Fan stopped her. He had them brought back to their bodies and the black orb hummed, releasing the map. They got up and looked at the map with conflicted emotions. Zhuo Fan picked it up casually and placed it in his ring, but then doubt clouded his mind. Why did Sovereign Yun's treasure react with the Nether Sea map? He also warned me that his treasure can find any place and anyone. King Cheng is the one I wanted to find. As for the place, maybe it's. Zhuo Fan felt like someone was using him. Knock a hum, Steward Zhu, young Miss Chu came. I got it, Elder Lei. Zhuo Fan put away the orb and left. The girls watched him while recalling the Nether Sovereign's warning and worried again. They even forgot about their jealousy. Zhuo Fan reached the lounge and saw Chu King Cheng and put on a smile. Ha ha ha, wifey, it looks like we're made for each other. Are you ready for a long night with your husband? Miscreant. Chu King Cheng blushed and huffed. Zhuo Fan said, wait, they didn't agree. Regardless of what, I'm not something. Chu King Cheng pouted, and so they were alone and whispered. Zhuo Fan, Senior Aunt May said to give the map first, even a copy. As for us, she needs to return to the sect and tell Master before. Chu King Cheng looked embarrassed, acting all shyly. Zhuo Fan's eyes went cold. That biddy plans on welching out of the deal, but I'm not one to lose my head in front of a girl and fall for that. Zhuo Fan didn't let his thoughts show. All right, I'll bring it right away. Zhuo Fan was gone for moments, bringing a delicate box. Give it to Mei Sangu. What she wants is in there, truly. Of course, our happiness is there as well. Zhuo Fan smiled. Chu Qingcheng beamed and nodded as she left, but after a step, she paused and pecked his cheek, running away with a flushed face. Zhuo Fan felt his cheek with a goony smile. Senior aunt, I brought it. Chu Qingcheng bounced happily in a courtyard, calling in joy. The hopeful women had waited a long time to hear this. They welcomed her with Mei Sangu in the lead, looking pleased and greedy. Fang Min and the others behind her were boiling in envy. Qingcheng, you've done well. Where is it? Here. Chu Qingcheng beamed and Mei Sangu took the box with haste, her entire body shaking. Fang Min's tone dripped with vitriol. The day finally came junior sister's first honey trap mission, though she lacks passion, only ending up with a copy instead of the real thing. I would have done it hands down. Senior sister, I didn't use any traps, we truly. Chu Qingcheng lowered her head bashfully. Besides, the map is definitely with the clan head. If it went missing, he'll have to answer for it. He's already taking enough risk giving us a copy. We can't just… Mei Sangu was upright and honorable as she nodded. Yes, the boy shows his deep affection by doing this. We shouldn't be hard on him since he couldn't do it anyway. It's good we at least got a copy, ha ha ha. Mei Sangu grinned from ear to ear as she was eagerly opening the box. Senior aunt, what do you think then of his request? I'll tell senior sister once we get back, no rush. We'll do as senior aunt says. Chu Qingcheng gave a sweet smile, lowering her head and fiddling with her clothes. She was like a chipper child that couldn't show her enthusiasm. Fang Min seethed at the side. What's so great about being with some ignorant and lousy punk? That's no reason to be content. A weird shout drew Fang Min's attention, looking over with joy. What is it, senior aunt? Is the map bad? No way. Zhuo Fan wouldn't lie to me. Chu Qingcheng started and rushed to see. She didn't worry about the map though, but that this would get her senior aunt to flip out. Mei Sangu had a deep frown, holding a shriveled paper with yellow lines on it. It looked like a map, sure, but a map of what? All those random lines made it hard to decipher. I knew the Nether Sea was cryptic, but to think that not even I can make sense of any of it. Senior aunt, you actually believe it to be real? Fang Min looked it over. Maybe the punk just drew something random. Few have seen the Nether Sea map, with neither one among us. It'd be strange not to fool us. Chu Qingcheng jumped in his defense. Senior aunt, Zhuo Fan was thoughtful the entire time, and even promised me to do his best in copying it to make sure it's identical. Senior sister is just making things up. I'm making it up. You tell me then what kind of map is that? We can't make anything of it. Minner, Mei Sangu glared, taking the map with joy. The fact you can't makes it real. The Nether Sea would have been a famous attraction by now if everyone could read it. I can also feel the kid's sincerity through this copy. What do you mean, senior aunt? Look, there's not a mark of a brush being used when drawing it. It's not uneven like others. Mei Sangu held her head high as she claimed, if he was faking it, then he would have left clear signs of drawing. With the Nether Sea being so special, there's no way the map was drawn with a brush. The more mystical the lines, the more genuine it is and proves his sincerity. These yellow stains as well, that must be where the Nether Sea is. All that's left is reading it. Mei Sangu paraded the map before the girls, leaving them speechless. Staring at the random and fading lines had them baffled. Chu Qingcheng looked pleased as punch though. Fang Min reeled, feeling like throwing up her lunch. She pointed at the map. What the hell did the punk use? That paper reeks of pee. Really? Mei Sangu gave it a sniff, then flinched with a wince. Yeah, just what did he use? It doesn't look like ink at all. Chu Qingcheng panicked, but she couldn't allow this hiccup to make her senior aunt loathe Zhuo Fan, so she changed the subject. Senior aunt, Zhuo Fan said using ink was out of the question when making the Nether Sea map copy. Think about it, ink is black and wouldn't be able to outline such vague and mystical drawing. So he went through toil and pain to find a famous and perfect color to match it. Senior aunt, he's very sincere. Really? Mei Sangu raised an eyebrow, giving the map another look and nodded. Yes, it's hard to show the same result with ink and brush. The kid must have gone above and beyond to make this map. We'll set off tomorrow for the sect to hand over the map to sect leader. I believe she will be thrilled and will reward you greatly, especially you, Qingcheng, ha ha ha. Fang Min sneered in envy. Qingcheng beamed and eased a breath. With this achievement, Master shouldn't care about Zhuo Fan's background. On the second day, bright and early, the Ruby Cloud sect set off with their copy. Through sheer and utter coincidence, however, the Luo clan happened to be at the city gates as well. Get ready for battle, Zhuo Fan was grave as he whispered to Bali Yuyu at his side. Don't leave the hag out of your sight. Don't go easy, but don't go killing either. Bali Yuyu nodded, eager to fight. Mei Sangu beamed upon noticing them, showing an even greater respect for Zhuo Fan, going as far as greeting them all. Luo friends, are you leaving as well? What a coincidence, we're going too. Do we have the same direction as well? Probably not. Zhuo Fan started, looking out of sorts. Did they not look over the copy I gave them? Why are they so cordial and even greeting me? Bali Yuyu looked stumped at him. Weren't we up for a brawl? They see us more like friends than anything, without a shred of ill will. The Luo clan looked clueless as Mei Sangu showed a bright smile and cupped her hands at Zhuo Fan, practically rejuvenated on the spot. Steward Zhu, you're so young and able. I believe we will have many chances to work together in the future. Farewell. Mei Sangu left in a grand manner with her disciples. Chu Qingcheng came before Zhuo Fan, winking and leaving in elation. A faint whisper happened to reach his sharp ears. Don't worry, senior aunt is pleased with you. We'll definitely succeed. Pleased, she's actually happy with my map. Zhuo Fan was floored, not registering as the girls left. The others were even more so. Zhuo Fan, didn't you say the hag would be hounding us through the city to kill us after seeing the map? We even had to get up so early for it. Why then was she pleased as punch? Bali Yuyu patted his shoulder. Maybe she'd be a real catch if she shed off a couple or more 1,000 years. Zhuo Fan took a deep breath. Something's off here. The hag saw my handiwork and didn't get angry. What handiwork? Just how did you draw it anyway? How? Didn't all of us learn how to draw since we were kids? Zhuo Fan looked awkwardly, mimicking some motions before giving up. Bali Yuyu was still clueless. When did we ever draw? I never raised a brush in my life, so how can I draw? Hey, Sword Child, what did your dad mean? Sword Child happened to pass over and she asked him. Sword Child showed a rather obtuse smile. To be my true mother, you must then understand how Dad draws. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? That I saw Dad take some random paper and whizzed on it. He waved it a couple of times to dry, then put it in the box. Sword Child snickered with a shrug. I'm but a sword spirit, so I've never drawn in my life. You humans, don't you pee since you were kids? You don't even know this? Dong. Bali Yuyu froze in place, looking at Zhuo Fan, now understanding as to why he thought that the hag would want him dead. Anyone in their right mind would explode being toyed like that, especially a senior. But is that hag slow in the head not to clobber it? I can barely hold back. Steward Zhu, I feel a lot of eyes on us after leaving the city. An hour on the rough road, an old man whispered in Zhuo Fan's ear. Zhuo Fan nodded. With the map with us, they won't stop spying on us until it's gone. Some think ahead while others will go for it on our way. We might have picked a long tail, but few of them will ever attack us. It doesn't matter. Yes, the old man left to walk with the others. 2 hours later, they arrived at a lofty mountain range. As the wind whistled, it signaled the arrival of men in black in the hundreds. The leader had a familiar face, none other than the demonic emperor's representative, thousand-faced devil. Zhuo Fan welcomed him with a smile and a shake of the head, like master-like servants. I said Zhao Chen is fickle and impulsive, and his men are no different. Steward Zhuo, Luo clan, thousand-faced devil ignored his complaints as he greeted with cupped hands. We have no bad blood between us. I know you are a grand clan and wish to be cordial still. In that regard, I hope you will offer up the Nether Sea map. I won't forget such a favor. Zhuo Fan smiled, walking forward and returning the gesture. Senior, we'd gladly offer anything else if it means befriending you, but as it happens, the Nether Sea map isn't anything but something won through our blood and sweat on the gambling stage. There's no reason at all to give it to you, Senior, sorry. Steward Zhu, spare me the empty pleasantries. I won't buy it. Thousand-faced devil eyed the rest, turning cruel. I don't know how tough the Luo clan is or how many experts it has, but from what I see, the only one able to fight me is the miss who met Mei Sangu. As for the rest, 20 spirit kings won't matter against my 100. You will all die. Steward Zhu must have earned your position with your guile, so you should know this as well. Zhuo Fan was unmoved. Senior, you mean that no matter what will incur from it, you still have to rob us? Yes, I don't know your limits, but it can't be worse than suffering the demonic emperor's wrath. He will be sure to take my life if I don't return with the map. Since death is certain in either case, I at least have some chance going against you, right? Yes, the unknown is scary, but it's also uncertain and by extension, survivable. You're gambling we have no backing at the level of the 8 emperors, so attacking us won't be an issue. Zhuo Fan's eyes shone. Congratulations, you win. We really aren't at the 8 emperors level. Your plan to pick on the weak is a success, but too bad you're the weaker one in this situation and made the wrong call. You don't have enough men to take us on. Thousand-faced devil sized them all up, laughing. Steward Zhu, bluffing now, are you? Yes, the peak stage spirit king young miss is comparable to an emperor without a doubt, but don't go telling me you have more of such monsters. At the same cultivation, the strengths of everyone is almost the same, which makes it a matter of numbers. That is where you lose. Quality, not quantity, is what the Luo clan favors, ha ha ha. Zhuo Fan snickered and patted Sword Child's head. Son, bring me his head intact. Yes, father, Sword Child bowed and took 2 steps forward, his eyes glimmering. Thousand-faced devil gasped, you're sending a child to take my head? What a joke. Whoosh, black flashed in front of him. With a faint breeze, the sharp sword wave flared across his forehead. Thousand-faced devil was startled, ducking just inches from the attack, taking some hair and leaving him soaked in sweat, the strands drifting in the wind. But then came the second strike. Fearful as he was now, a whirlwind kick came from below, aiming to relieve him of his head. Thousand-faced devil felt death nearing and leaned sideways to dodge and jump 1,000 meters back, away from the danger. Looking ahead, the sight shocked him stiff. The one who almost took his life was none other than the scrawny child. His kick did not touch him, but the force behind it unleashed a sword wave that reaped 10 lives. The bodies turned to mist, cutting thousand-faced devil's 100 spirit kings to 90. SSS gasping, everyone went pale. Thousand-faced devil was shaken to the core, his bravery gone as he looked at sword child in utter dread. It was beyond him how a 7-year-old wielded such deadly power. Is he even human? Thousand-faced devil felt his worldview come crashing down on him. Sword child was, of course, a sovereign weapon, sharp and deadly. Not even a sacred beast could match his toughness, let alone humans. Boy, you're quite springy for an old man, sword child huffed, snickering at thousand-faced devil. The latter felt his skin crawl, then noticed the casual Luo clan. Bali Yuyu, the pseudo-emperor, didn't lift a finger, with only the little freak causing so much damage. This made it so the Luo clan had 2 emperor-level experts, and would be deadly if the others joined as well. His advantage in this highway robbery had now flown out the window. Thousand-faced devil sighed, thinking of backing off, but a look at the glaring Bali Yuyu and sword child told him he had to pay for starting this. At least an emperor had an emperor's advantage, one a spirit king couldn't cover. Thousand-faced devil's eyes flashed and he made a sign. As his hands moved, ghastly faces appeared in the air. Imperial mark, thousand faces slaughter. Thousand-faced devil flew in the air and then vanished. The wind stirred and 1,000 golden, 100-meter-tall ghastly faces appeared from above. Hee, now you know why they call me thousand-faced devil. Thousand-faced devil was hidden among those faces, cackling. My imperial mark is made of a spirit king level soul attack for every face, not a full attack but 80% strong at the very least. Now I have 1,000-men army. Boy, your monsters might be tough and can live through this, but what about the rest? Especially you, Steward Zhuo, and your young miss. You're too weak and an easy target, know when to give up. Hand over the map, bam, sword child waved and smashed a face in disdain, nothing but parlor tricks crumbling at a touch. Hi, I told you, it's not for you too. With your strength, you can beat one, but what about 1,000? Also, my faces can reform after beaten. How long will you last, I wonder? Following his creepy laughter, another face formed, completing the set of 1,000. Sword child waved, making the air warp from the heat. Then let's see which will last longer, your faces or my searing strikes. Humph decimating sword art, rampant inferno, who fires sparked to life out of nowhere throughout the sky, making the faces tremble and crumble to dust. The 1,000 faces were burned to nothing in an instant, with incessant cackling still coming from above, only this time it was one of agony. Sword child showed his evil side as he sneered, now you know what I'm made of. Don't move. A shout caught their attention as a boiling hand grabbed Zhuo Fan's neck. Devil panted hard with a wan and sweaty face, a clear sign of weakness. Sword child and Bali Yuyu flinched, only to relax the next moment upon seeing he picked Zhuo Fan of all the targets. Not registering the casualness the others had, 1,000-faced devil roared, give me the nether sea map or it's off with his head. He gripped Zhuo Fan's neck tighter. The Luo clan didn't seem to care much. Did you not hear me? Even in the bone-tempering stage, isn't he still your steward? Don't you care if he lives or dies? Splitting art, so you're a former assassin, senior. 1,000-faced devil grew tense at the unexpected reactions or lack thereof. The one to finally give him any attention at all was the same one who he held hostage, splitting your spirit into many to confuse the enemy, then snatching victory amidst the chaos. It must be quite the skill indeed for not even I to pick up on it. It also gives the enemy the chance to break them down one at a time. Knowing the spirit is exposed, even at the spirit king level, it's still very fragile. Showing such weakness can be fatal in an emperor stage battle. The devil met Zhuo Fan's taunting eyes and snapped, what do you know of such a high-level battle? Shut your trap or I'll snap your neck. Ha, you should have done that from the start when you had the chance. A shame an assassin should be focusing on speed and killing, not on taking hostages. You doomed your assassin profession the instant you left killing aside. 1,000-faced devil gave him a long look, clueless about where he was getting at. I'm an emperor and I'm supposed to kill a bug like him from the start. I control his life and can take it whenever I want. Why, crack. The snapping sound made 1,000-faced devil shiver, feeling his hand going numb and him being unable to move it. His eyes grew wide as he saw Zhuo Fan's right hand glowing red and gripping the same arm tight like clamps. How can? 1,000-faced devil's face twitched, wanting to squeeze his fingers and crush Zhuo Fan's neck. A shame his hand was frozen, unable to budge. It was, in fact, pulled away by an incredible force out of his control. Why you? Thousand-faced devil gawked at the hand gripping his, then at Zhuo Fan's creepy smile. Fear took its hold on his mind, roaring, "How can you have such power? A bone-tempering cultivator. Ha ha ha, I told you, your assassin career is at an end." Zhuo Fan's eyes grew cold, and he snapped his killing arm to the side. Thousand-faced devil's weakened body snapped from the shoulder as he flew away without his arm, leaving a bloody trail. Whoosh! Before he got to taste the agony of having his arm yanked out of his socket, something black flashed in front of his horrified eyes, a sword slash. Whoosh! A head rolled in the air, falling in a small hand. Thousand-faced devil's headless body spurted blood for a few moments, then plopped. His men saw their boss off like nothing and lost all courage, flying away in panic. Zhuo Fan's group let them go, holding them in disdain. Of all the people here, taking Steward Zhuo hostage is like signing your own death warrant. Dad, here's his head. Sword Child presented the shocked and terrified head to Zhuo Fan. He nodded and put it in his ring before signaling the others to resume their journey. Minutes after they left, many men in black appeared at this bloodbath, before vanishing once more. In a manor in Mist City, the city lord heard the scouts' report and turned pensive. You're telling me the Luo clan had an easy time dealing with Thousand-Faced Devil's team. They definitely aren't a normal group to not care about the demonic emperor's opinion. Have you found anything about them? City lord, we've long since sent people to Joy Town, and there is such a clan there. But with the location being so remote, it'll be hard to find anything from their past. From the passing traders, we did find that the town has been around for thousands of years, far from the secular world and from the power struggles of the sacred domain. Why would this monster rise up now of all times after thousands of years? And so flashy too, the city lord paused. I'll need to report this to the gambling emperor. Something isn't right about this group, messing with the 8 emperor's people and even stealing their things. 2 months later, in a dark hall, only a pair of eerie eyes were seen coming from the seat of honor, with the city lord kneeling below, reporting Gambling Town's events. A bright smile appeared below the eyes. Ha ha ha, how amusing. Of all the famed 8 emperors, none won my gamble. The victor turned out to be some unknown clan from nowhere. Gambling Emperor, the Luo clan has many people of great talent. Their steward, Zhuo Fan, has low cultivation yet holds such a position. His conduct is calm and calculative, while the guards are firm and resolute. They're more than meets the eye. Of course, while life is a constant fight and luck plays a large role, by lacking strength as well, luck can only get you so far. I could never look down on such a clan. Ha ha ha, the Gambling Emperor smiled. So they killed the demonic emperor's men, inciting the butcher. What will his reply be? If they hold an emperor's power, they have no reason to fear. Otherwise, their choice is to seek their backer or find shelter with the other 7. This will make the next owner of the map known. Where will they go then? The city lord bowed. Gambling Emperor, the scouts following them say they're going toward Devil Mountain. What? Gambling Emperor finally showed a reaction, the eyes stunned for a moment. Having killed his men, the demonic emperor is bound to hunt them down till the end of days, and yet they're knocking at his door. What's the Luo clan up to? They believe that they have the power to fight with the demonic emperor and settle it. The Gambling Emperor frowned, with the city lord unable to provide an answer. Meanwhile, a lavish and jaded jar crumbled as it met the hard floor. An imposing youth wore a scowl in anger as he jumped to his feet and stared down at the shivering men in black below. Not only did you not get the Nether Sea map from Gambling Town, but of those I sent, one is missing and the other got killed by some nameless and unknown little group, no less. Demonic Emperor, sir, the Luo clan is a mystery that we can't deal with, one man ventured, shaking like a leaf. Unlike Zhuo Fan's calculative and deceitful nature, Zhao Chen was more of a petty and impulsive prick. Once in power, he never stopped lusting for more, expanding his domain. His handling was cruel as well, worse than Zhuo Fan. His reckless reputation sent fear in his enemies but also his men. Zhao Chen gave them a sinister smile. Can't deal with it. Thousand-Faced Devil took 100 spirit kings yet couldn't handle one lousy clan. What use do I have of you then? Garbage. Zhao Chen roared, and the one who reported got split into bloody chunks with a splat. The others trembled in terror. Sir, please calm down. Humph, every day I hear the same thing. You only had to show a bit of courage and do what I told you to, and I wouldn't have to take my rage on you. Zhao Chen flicked his sleeve. What of the Luo clan? Where are they? We don't know. You don't. Demonic Emperor, sir, they killed Thousand-Faced Devil and we didn't try. Garbage. Zhao Chen threw his hand, and more than 10 people went splat, covering the floor in blood and gore. The rest cowered back. A voice came from outside. Demonic Emperor, someone's here to seek an audience bearing gifts. Gifts? Zhao Chen was curious. Bring it here. 2 boys walked in with 2 exquisite boxes and placed them on the ground. Zhao Chen flicked a finger, and 2 bloody heads were revealed. Chen stared at the familiar faces, his shocked voice breaking the brief silence. Thousand-faced devil, Huang Fusong, what are their heads doing here? Guard, who brought them here? Demonic Emperor, sir, they call themselves the Luo clan of Joy Town and are outside the mountain waiting to see you. A guard rushed in, looking fretful in the face of Zhao Chen's rage. Zhao Chen's face twitched in disbelief. Luo clan, as in the same one, they dare bring my men's heads. They've gone too far. Seize them and drag them in here. I want to see what the hell they are up to. Yes. His men went to follow his orders and brought a man and a woman surrounded by black guards into the hall. Looking at his old place, it took Zhuo Fan back to the good old days. The only thing spoiling his reminiscing was seeing Zhao Chen unchanged after thousands of years. He showed a savage grin, yet bearing no hatred. Zhao Chen shivered as their eyes met, feeling an uncanny familiarity. His heart began to race with fear and even staggered back. Pa, one man in black bowed, Demonic Emperor, sir, they are the Luo clan's people that brought the heads. We await your orders. Leave. Zhao Chen never took his eyes off Zhuo Fan, losing all his anger as he gave a numb wave. All of you leave. Right. The men shared puzzled looks, finding Demonic Emperor's demeanor off like he wasn't himself. It was their first time hearing his kind voice, so they left on the double. Zhuo Fan, Bali Yuyu, and Zhao Chen were the only ones left, as well as the bloody floor with the corpses. Zhuo Fan smiled at the stiff face, cupping his hands. Demonic Emperor, your reputation precedes you. I am Steward Zhu of the Luo clan. Here is my guard, Bali Yuyu. It's an honor to finally meet the great Demonic Emperor. Your name feels familiar. Zhao Chen squinted, lost for a moment before saying, not just the name, but also the character. No, it's not the same. He was never one to be casual and never lowered himself to become some steward. No, it's definitely impossible for a dead guy, ha ha ha. Zhuo Fan smiled. Demonic Emperor, what are you saying? Nothing. Zhao Chen snapped back to reality, his face going cold as he stared at the heads. Steward Zhu, was it? What is the meaning of this? Your show of force or challenge? No, Demonic Emperor, sir, this is the clan head's gift. He wishes for you to gladly accept it. Gift. You kill my men and bring me their heads and you call it a freaking gift. Bam. Zhao Chen slammed the table in anger. No one does that. Explain yourself, or not only will you meet your end here, but the entire Luo clan will be wiped out. I'll take all your heads to trample them on the way to hell. Hu Zhao Chen's explosive aura swept the hall, making Bali Yuyu shiver back. The 8 emperors are way stronger than common emperors. Zhuo Fan faced the pressure, shouting as well, Demonic Emperor, sir, please hear us out. After that, you're free to take our heads without any complaint. Speak. Zhao Chen eyed them. Stretching his collar, Zhuo Fan smiled. Demonic Emperor, sir, did you perhaps send someone to attack the Ruby Cloud sect's disciples and steal their purple gold glazed cup? No, Zhao Chen said casually after a moment. Zhuo Fan beamed. I thought so as well. The Demonic Emperor would never stoop as low as do something like this to the Ruby Cloud sect leader, one of the 8 emperors. It would not only stain your name, but would make another strong enemy without any reason. Why ever go through all that grueling trouble? But he announced himself as one of Demonic Emperor's aides, dropping Sir's name while saying it was your idea all along. I did not want him to yammer on and make Sir's life worse, so I was swift in removing this bandit to preserve Sir's name. Was I wrong? Zhuo Fan pointed at the first head, smiling. Zhao Chen was non-committal and thousand-faced devil. Demonic Emperor, sir, was it not you who instigated the Demon Light Castle issue 3 years back, making Wraith Emperor and Falcon Emperor wage war, gaining the most in the process? Nonsense, that was their own problem born from their animosity. What does that have to do with me? Zhao Chen's heart sank, denying everything. Zhuo Fan gave a natural nod, but of course, Demonic Emperor, sir, could have never have done such a thing. Thousand-faced devil must have run his mouth in Gambling Town, making you the scapegoat. Now Wraith Emperor and Falcon Emperor joined hands to deal with you. I could not stand letting such a man live any longer. What? Zhao Chen darkened, then flicked his hand. Fine, let those geezers come. I'm not scared of them. Zhuo Fan made a deep gesture of respect. Demonic Emperor, sir, is so heroic with those 2 beneath you. But what about 3 or 4 emperors? Ha ha ha, fear not an able opponent, but an incompetent ally. With a foul aide like Thousand-Faced Devil and the other poisoning the well outside and earning Sir enemies, Sir is bound to become public enemy number 1. No one can face entire crowds by himself, even someone as heroic as Sir. Zhao Chen's face twitched, his fists clenched, his teeth grinding. As such, we took it upon ourselves and did Sir a favor by removing these scumbags. Didn't we do Sir a great favor? Zhuo Fan beamed. Zhao Chen stared into his eyes, still looking uneasy. These dogs might be in the wrong, but only I get to punish them and not an outsider. With them dead, my forces weakened. How am I to handle it then? Demonic Emperor, sir, out with the old, in with the new. It's no trouble at all if they're gone, not when you have the Luo clan to fill in the gap, ha ha ha. Zhuo Fan gave a weird smile, bowing. Our clan head admires the demonic emperor's heroism, wishing to stand among the 8 emperors since young. So we came to join you. I ask that demonic emperor gives us a spot. Of course, we're not going to be like those 2 boneheads, for we are far superior than them in every way, be it in strength or handling matters. This way, they didn't die to outsiders, but removing the filth in Sir's stead. Zhao Chen shook hard, gasping, "You want my protection." Of course, there's no reward without effort, which is why we went out of our way to showcase our results and receive Sir's protection. Zhuo Fan's hand shone and took out an aged paper. He offered it with 2 hands, making Zhao Chen jump in joy. The Nether Sea map. Yes, we know Sir wants it and went through hell and high water to bring it to Sir. Zhuo Fan smiled, glancing at the ghastly heads with derision. Also, this is our chance to prove our use to Sir. The 2 lost their lives and couldn't get it while we did. I am confident Sir would be pleased to have us. Zhuo Fan nodded as he smiled wildly, but then he hesitated. Why is it you chose me of all the 8 emperors? And don't tell me it's out of admiration or some flowery speech. I want the truth. Demonic Emperor Sir is a man of many values. I knew we made the right choice. The 2 shared a nod before Zhuo Fan turned to Zhao Chen. I'll be perfectly honest. The Luo clan has been hiding in Joy Town for millennium. To come out of that hole, we needed an emperor on our side. We had to make a choice from among them. Sir can also see that with our strength, it'd be easy to have any emperor's favor. The first that took our notice was, of course, the head of the 8 emperors, the Sword Emperor. Alas, Sword Emperor has the highest demands and the greatest power. Like they say, it's better to be a leader among men than a grunt among giants. We feared that we had no room to grow under the Sword Emperor, giving up. As for the rest, they're all geriatric and washed up, pedantic and outdated, hardly able to help us rise among their people. Only Demonic Emperor Sir, with your youthful valor, is the perfect choice to work for, your right hand. Chen approved as he nodded, elated at the praise. Good eye. I see your clan head is an educated man. I'm not one to brag, but among the 8 emperors, only I have such strength and right to be the head among all emperors. It's only a matter of time before the decrepit Sword Emperor will be replaced. That's what our clan head's been saying as well, although, yes, we killed 2 of Sir's men and going to another emperor would keep us safe, if only for a while before we'll suffer your retribution. Being the target of the demonic emperor's wrath is like having a viper stalking you. We'll never get a wink of sleep. Only under Sir's protection could we be friends instead and resolve this animosity. Zhuo Fan sighed. Regardless of everything, our best choice had and always will be demonic emperor. Zhao Chen gave him a long look, good thinking and impeccable analysis. Yes, you've made the perfect choice in coming here with these fools' heads. Who was it, though, that came up with this brilliant tactic? Zhao Chen's eyes shone, somewhat eager. Demonic Emperor Sir, Steward Zhuo is our clan head's trusted man. With him helping clan head every step, it is only his duty to help clan head make a decision. That was Bali Yuyu's cue, and she came forward with a cupped hand. Zhuo Fan shook his head in modesty. Please, I only offered simple advice. Clan head had the final say. Steward Zhuo, take credit where it's due. As a bone-tempering cultivator, to stand next to clan head is only possible by showcasing your impressive talent. Bali Yuyu mocked. Demonic Emperor Sir, please overlook Steward Zhuo's paltry cultivation, for in the Luo clan, he even has clan head's ear. Otherwise, clan head's inclination would be towards the Sword Emperor with so many of our clan's guards practicing the sword. Zhao Chen stared hard at Zhuo Fan, only then noticing he was dealing with a bug. Belying his low cultivation, the guy was very well placed, in fact. This further proved his talents lay elsewhere. From what the woman says, the guy must be quite the deep thinker. Blasted, that's exactly the talent I'm missing. Zhao Chen walked forward, taking Zhuo Fan's hand with a smile. Ha ha ha, it's so rare to find a true strategist these days, Steward Zhuo. I truly need someone like you for Devil Mountain. Leaving it up to those fools will run all its millennium-long legacy into the ground. Demonic Emperor Sir, you're too kind. Then the Luo clan, say nothing more. Of the 20 demon guards, 36 cities, and 64 clans, as you replace Thousand-Faced Devil, you shall be above every one of them. Zhao Chen slapped his chest, vowing, I shall declare the Luo clan as my loyal subjects, with Steward Zhuo my right-hand man. Any that touches you will earn my wrath. Demonic Emperor Sir, shouldn't it be clan head who has my position? What's the difference? You help Luo clan head and he helps me. Isn't it all the same? Why be so complicated about it? That goes beyond my authority. Shouldn't Sir address clan head first? What's the point? What I say goes. Guard, prepare a feast to welcome Steward Zhuo. Devil Mountain was all a cheer for the next 3 days, with Zhao Chen giving Zhuo Fan a proper welcome. He also declared to all sacred domain that the Luo clan fell in with Devil Mountain. The Luo clan became the leader of the 20 demon guards, and Zhuo Fan became Zhao Chen's personal advisor. Another 10 days passed, and Zhao Chen gave 20 towns under the Luo clan's supervision. Zhuo Fan and Bailey Yu thus took their leave from demonic emperor to help the Luo clan handle the transition. Leaving the mountain, Zhuo Fan looked back at the lush peak and sighed. I used to be all alone, with but a few arrays guarding the mountain. I never thought I'd see the day it would be crowded, no longer the paradise of old. That kid hasn't changed, in contrast, still fighting for power like everyone else. Humph, to think that in my time, even without any territory of my own, I was still the head of the 8 emperors. Imbecile, what are you doing going after so many things? You've brought nothing but shame to this famous mountain. What are you doing coming under his wing then? Bali Yuyu replied. Shouldn't we be using others to finish him off? Now that we work for him, we're under his men's watch and won't be able to lift a finger against him. Zhuo Fan smirked. In war you have to give first and then take. Any person or faction crumbles from within in the end, with the outside influence holding little effect on its fate. We are now like maggots inside his home, nibbling everything he has. Don't the 20 cities prove it? Ha ha ha, Zhuo Fan walked with confidence. Bali Yuyu followed after him with a soft gaze. In Gambling Town, the shocking news of the Luo clan joining demonic emperor reached everyone's ears. In Miss City Lord's manor, the gambling emperor held a jade slip behind a curtain. Luo clan actually became the demonic emperor's first demon guard. This is too baffling, almost unbelievable. Gambling emperor, they must have offered the map to quell demonic emperor's anger. No, gambling emperor waved, watching City Lord from beyond the curtain. I know his temper well, reckless, pig-headed, and quick to anger. The most the Luo clan could get out of that deal is survive, not become his guard, going as far as making him the head of his 20 demon guards. It makes no sense at all for a rash and hot-headed man to swing from rage to elation at the drop of the hat. Especially that demonic emperor. Does that mean the Luo clan got a high status in Devil Mountain through other means? Definitely, for even giving the map without the animosity, they'd still wouldn't get placed so high. The deal stinks to high heaven. The gambling emperor squinted. Did the demonic emperor also mention in his declaration that he made the Luo clan's steward his right-hand man? Yes, that's him, but it's so strange. The Luo clan is now the first demon guard and its representative should be their clan head, not the steward. Then everything must have had something to do with that steward. The gambling emperor smiled. How amusing, the steward is fascinating. Men, never leave him out of your sight. I want to know the full extent of his skills and what miracles he brings, ha ha ha. Yes, the space warped. In a dark room, 2 shadows sat across from each other. Did you hear? That arrogant Luo clan that was in Gambling Town got the demonic emperor's protection. And aren't we going to act? Of course we are, but everything about the Luo clan is strange. Anything could happen. What's so great about some no-name clan showing up? Demonic emperor made us lose half our lands. We have to take it back on our titles as emperors. I heard that the 7 sacred mountains intends to move on to the 8 emperors. One of the weaker ones might even get replaced. Then, the man hesitated. Fine, then if we have to strike, we'll go after the demonic emperor. The Luo clan wants to have a protector to spread its wings, but they've made the wrong choice. In the Ruby Cloud sect, a woman in her 40s sat in the main seat holding a yellow paper with a grimace. Junior sister, are you certain this is a copy of Nether Sea map? Definitely, just look at the vague lines and the faded landscape. No brush could ever leave such artistry behind. Mei Sangu looked proud as she explained. Her disciples bobbed their heads, even Chu Qingcheng. Mei Sangu was happy to give Chu Qingcheng the credit. Senior sister, it's all thanks to Qingcheng using a honey trap to get that boy to forget all dangers in making this copy. Senior aunt, that was not a honey trap. Didn't we clear that out? Chu Qingcheng smiled as she implored her. Master, Zhuo Fan said he wanted me to leave the sect and have a normal life. Nonsense, you're the pillar of the sect. You can't just go with any man that talks to you. Mei Sangu glared at her. Chu Qingcheng got anxious, but senior aunt, you clearly promised. What? I only said we'll return to report to senior sister. If she doesn't agree, that's that. That's enough. Looking at them all red, the woman raised a hand. Regardless of honey trap or Qingcheng promising the boy, it no longer matters. This map is fake. Fake, that can't be. Look at the lines, not made by a human, right? The woman sneered. To be so smug when the other fooled you so badly. No man made the map true, but also untrue since no brush was used. Mei Sangu blinked in confusion. The woman shook her head and chuckled. You all, high up on your perch, made you forget the basic human nature. Basic nature? Don't common people eat, drink, and relieve themselves? She threw the yellow paper in Mei Sangu's hand, smiling. Remember when raising Qingcheng that she drew the same map up to 4 times a day. And that smell, it just never gets old, ha ha ha. What? Mei Sangu gave the copy another sniff, finally coming to an explosive revelation. Senior sister, you're saying that fricking punk relieved himself on this paper? What do you think? This is absolutely outrageous. Mei Sangu flipped out, flicking her hands with lightning speed, tearing it in drifting pieces on the ground. The thought of having treated that foul thing as treasure for so many months, tracing its every mystical line and making her hands reek, she keeled over and emptied her stomach on the spot. Fang Min and the disciples sniffed their own hands and couldn't wait a second more to wash their hands. They were elegant ladies, yet had to touch such filthy and repugnant things. Chu Qingcheng shook her head in disbelief. No, that can't be. He wouldn't lie to me. Why would he use such a thing to toy with me? Humph, dumb girl. He was only messing around and never truly cared about you one bit. You still went on playing the honey trap when the other played you instead. You even dared to involve ourselves. How worthless, Fang Min spat. Chu Qingcheng lowered her head, her heart crushed with heartache. On her first time leaving the sect, the first man she ever felt something for was Zhuo Fan. They were such a good match together, wanting to remain like this, but it turned out that Zhuo Fan had been toying with her. He could have just said the map couldn't be copied. Why did he have to lie to me? Our senior sister's right that he's only using me and never really cared. How could I be so foolish to not see it? In Gambling Town, he had so many pretty women around, so why would he care about some plain girl instead? As her bleak outlook turned forlorn, Chu Qingcheng's heart sank. The woman on the main seat coughed. Qingcheng, men are fickle, so don't let them get to you. You have your destiny with you and are much better off without those fools. Focus on cultivation. Chu Qingcheng deflated and gave a weak nod as tears brimmed her eyes. Senior sister, I can't do anything right, letting some brat get the best of me at my age and even bringing such filth back to the sect. I deserve to be punished. Mei Sangu looked ashamed. The woman waved her worries away. We have thousands of years of experience, making our childhood memories vague. The disciples are also sensible to not encounter such an event. It only came to mind because I've been looking after Qingcheng all these years. She is my dear precious disciple, making these memories deeper, ha ha ha. Master, Chu Qingcheng was touched. Unable to overcome the sadness within, she started bawling. Fang Min huffed in envy. Damn this girl, throwing tantrums. She didn't help the sect one bit, yet Master still treats her so nicely. Where's the fairness gone to? Mei Sangu only grew angrier and roared, rotten cretin. Senior sister, I'm going after him and putting him in his place or he'll think Ruby Cloud's sect is a pushover. The woman caressed Chu Qingcheng's hair, her eyes flashing. Sect leader Devil Mountain made a declaration to the entire sacred domain. A sharp voice came from outside and a girl floated in to present a jade slip. The woman took the jade slip and shouted, Sangu, you don't have to go. He's untouchable. Wah, take a look at yourself. He and the Luo clan are now cherished men of demonic emperor. Going after him means waging war. What? Mei Sangu snatched the jade slip and gave it a quick read, her face fuming. Damn it. They must have given the real Nether Sea map for his status so the dog would have a master. We can't do anything to him now. Fang Min and the rest were shocked. The Luo clan sure works fast, getting the demonic emperor's protection in such a short time. The leading woman shook her head. Don't worry, they won't be safe for long. When their protector falls, we'll get them and make them pay for Qingcheng. What? The others blinked in doubt. 3 months later, Zhuo Fan handled the transition of the 20 cities Zhao Chen gave to the Luo clan who happened to be under the 2 he killed. There would always be some trouble when such a change occurred, from some ignorant fools trying to take over or other such overambitious people. 3 months to settle all that was not nearly enough. The Luo clan, however, moved with power and speed. Adding to them Murong Lai, Liu Mubai and the other sword kings, all the trouble became trifles. The 20 cities fell into their hands, finally making it officially Luo clan's second turf in sacred domain, thousands of times bigger than Joy Town. It wasn't meant to last, as barely after the Luo clan set up their operations, they met a huge issue. The 3 Emperors' War, Steward Zhuo of Featherwind City has noticed suspicious activity outside its walls. A guard bowed before Zhuo Fan. Zhuo Fan frowned. Featherwind City is next to Wraith Emperor's lands. Do Wraith Emperor and Falcon Emperor prepare to move? Big brother Zhuo, do we act? Luo Yunhai came over to ask. Luo Sifan spoke with pride. Let them try. We have nothing to fear with the demonic emperor watching over us. The Luo clan isn't the only one fighting in this. We have reinforcements. Not happening. Zhuo Fan glared at the 2. You think of yourselves shielded and want to fight them. Even with covered backs, it'll be our Luo clansmen who will die out there. Why should we take such losses? Luo Yunhai nodded. I can understand that, but we are at the border of the demonic emperor's lands. Are we to retreat if not attacking? Retreating will ruin this rare chance of getting in the 8 emperors' conflict. Then, get the best of 2 worlds by watching them slaughter each other. This grudge is between the 3 of them and we can stay clear. How is the question? Zhuo Fan mused with a flickering gaze. Another person burst in with a new jade slip. Steward Zhuo, demonic Emperor Zhao Chen requests your presence. I was about to go see him as well. Zhuo Fan grinned, taking the jade slip and leaving for Devil Mountain with Bali Yuyu, taking 3 days to arrive. The demon guard knew them and let them in. In the hall, they bowed before Zhao Chen. Greetings, demonic emperor. Steward Zhuo, please sit. Zhao Chen impatiently gestured at the chairs. Steward Zhuo, I believe you know by now why I called for you, having taken over the 20 cities I gave you. Zhuo Fan nodded. The Wraith Emperor's forces show increased activity. They have ill thoughts, not just that, but they want to settle the score from years ago. Zhao Chen huffed and flicked his hand. The Falcon Emperor's men are acting up on the other side as well. The two must have planned it to pincer me. Do they really think they can beat me with this? Steward Zhuo, I called for you to ask how the Luo clan is handling the 20 cities. Are you ready to block Wraith Emperor's forces? Zhuo Fan paused. Demonic Emperor, sir, the Luo clan is still new here, struggling to get all the local thugs in check. Now that the enemy is coming from outside, getting complete control in just 3 months is a little. All right, I know where you're going with this, but escaping this war is impossible. Now how many men do you need? I'll give them to you. I want to let them know that even with both against me, I'll still crush them. They want to settle things over. Humph, they're far from worthy. Zhao Chen's eyes shone with cruelty. Zhuo Fan muttered, Demonic Emperor, sir, the way I see it, avoiding a war is the best option. Why do you say that, Steward Zhuo? Zhao Chen frowned. Zhuo Fan smiled as he stood, taking a couple of steps. When two fight, the third reaps the reward. Demonic Emperor, sir, is heroic, but against two others the odds aren't looking favorable. You may even win, but the losses will be devastating and turn into a loss in the end, while the other emperors will use this chance to seize Sir's lands. In short, war will only bring downsides. Like in the war between the Falcon Emperor and the Wraith Emperor, what did Sir do? You think I don't know that? Zhao Chen sighed. It's not I who started this fight, but the other two geezers coming at me. Not defending will be the same as handing over the land, losing not only territory but my name too. With the world seeing me weak, no one would turn to me for protection. Zhuo Fan nodded. Yes, by not fighting the losses will be greater, making the war a must. However, it shouldn't be Sir who fights. Who else then? They came especially to fight me. Let those lurking from the sidelines fight. That's the best tactic. Zhuo Fan wore a sneaky smile. Any that joins it has to suffer. Why doesn't Sir just have those spectators hop into the fray while you take their place instead, as the third party? Zhao Chen started. You want me to look for allies, but who would aid me at such a time? There's 2 emperors coming as well. Any allies I find, if I do find any, would at most give a lofty speech only to be a no-show when the war starts. Demonic Emperor, sir, it's not seeking allies but adversaries. You fight alongside allies, unlike with adversaries. They do the work while we watch without lifting a finger. Steward Zhuo, are you in your right mind? Zhao Chen stared hard then cracked up. Ha ha ha, Steward Zhuo, where are we supposed to find such nimrods? I don't know of any among the 8 emperors who'd be that stupid to waste his strength. Zhuo Fan smiled. Of course there aren't any foolish enough to do it, and recruiting adversaries comes with a price, even the 8 emperors. What price would that be? Zhao Chen asked. Zhuo Fan's grin widened, stressing every word. Demonic Emperor, sir, have you managed to decipher the Nether Sea map by any chance? You want to give the map? Not happening. Zhuo Fan shook his head, denying such an idea. The Nether Sea map is the only clue to the Nether Sovereign's seat of enlightenment. It's invaluable. Why should I just hand it over? What if they decipher it? The map is too abstruse for common eyes to unravel. The gambling emperor wouldn't have bet it otherwise. We're not going to use the real map either, but a copy. The real thing will stay with Sir. No, what if they can still crack it? We can just tamper with it, making it impossible. Tampering it and they still won't notice? Demonic Emperor, sir, please take out the map and allow me a look, Zhuo Fan bowed. Squinting, Zhao Chen finally relented and took out the map after a long pause. Zhuo Fan approached casually and pointed. Sir, the map has countless black circles. All we have to do is just add more here while taking there when we make a copy. No one will figure it out, not even the gambling emperor. The right and left corners are similar as well, so we can just switch them with none the wiser. Even put side by side with the original, who would notice? You could stare at it till you go blind and still won't figure it out. Zhao Chen nodded and exclaimed, Steward Zhuo's tactic is ingenious. With a few subtle changes on the already abstruse map, no one will notice. Now we have a bargaining chip, getting something for nothing, ha ha ha. Only who should we make a deal with? With who yearns for the map the most? Zhuo Fan pace, in Gambling Town, the gambling emperor threw the map into a bet so he won't value it, or maybe he already owns a copy. The other representatives might want the map, only 2 yearn for it. The Ruby Cloud sect tried using a honey trap on me to give them a copy. The Sword Emperor's representative even cut off his own toes in the betting. Talking with them would be far more successful. Zhao Chen gave an approving nod. Sir is truly sharp. I'm fortunate to have you. I'll contact the 2 right away. One moment, Zhuo Fan intervened. Demonic Emperor, sir, no need to be hasty. All know our circumstances and are sure to make heavy demands if we just go to them with the map. Heed my advice, sir, and they would be more than willing to work for us. Zhao Chen's face twitched, staring long at Zhuo Fan. Having Sir with me is like gaining a gem. Then I'll leave the overwhelming alliance to Sir. Just doing my duty, Sir. Zhuo Fan bowed, exchanged a couple more words and left with Bali Yuyu. His first goal was the Ruby Cloud sect where Chu Qingcheng was. The failed deal in the gambling town would be finished this time. Wush arriving before the Ruby Cloud sect's territory, a dozen girls blocked their way, with Fang Zimin in the lead. Zhuo Fan snickered, shouting, "Girlie, go tell them that I represent the demonic emperor and have come to see the enchanting empress on important business. Humph, rotten punk, like we haven't had enough of your tricks last time. Now you have the nerve to come to the Ruby Cloud sect. You're looking to die." Fang Min huffed, preparing to attack Zhuo Fan. "Sisters, rip this arrogant bastard to shreds." Yes, the girls went on the offensive, aiming for Zhuo Fan. The heavy pressure befell Zhuo Fan, a bone-tempering cultivator, bound to flatten him. Whoosh, Bali Yuyu flashed in front, sending a casual ice sword wave at them. Bam, the dozen girls coughed blood and were flung away like flies. They should thank their lucky stars that Bali Yuyu went easy, or there would have been nothing left of them. Bali Yuyu sneered and Zhuo Fan stepped forward. "I represent the demonic emperor. Attacking me is attacking, Sir." "Does Ruby Cloud sect want a war with Devil Mountain?" "Humph, the demonic emperor is cornered. Can he spare energy against another enemy?" A mocking tone came, followed by a familiar figure. Zhuo Fan perked up. "If it isn't Senior Aunt May, how have you been? You dare call me that? Just like King Cheng does." Zhuo Fan beamed without a trace of shame. Mei Sangu recalled Zhuo Fan giving her that foul handiwork and cursed, "Damn cretin, I have a score to settle with you for last time." "So you found out, eh?" "Here I thought the biddy would take ages." Bali Yuyu mocked. Mei Sangu's ears twitched, clenching her fists. She knew the girl was more than she looked and winning would not be easy. She couldn't put her in her place. Zhuo Fan laughed. "I'll give you all the explanations you want for last time. The real issue is now. I represent the demonic emperor, but you're just keeping me at the door. Huh, and what of it? Devil Mountain's newest servant only knows how to abuse his status." "Ha ha ha, Mei Sangu, how is it any different from you?" Zhuo Fan was grave. "Being the demonic emperor's representative isn't anything great, but that's not for you to say since you're not worthy. I'm the demonic emperor's representative, here to see the Ruby Cloud sect leader for a deal. Only your sect leader can send me away, for she is the Ruby Cloud sect. Senior Aunt May, are you perhaps that representative? Isn't this a power play? Did the enchanting empress die? Why you?" Mei Sangu's face twitched in anger, ready to explode. She wanted nothing more than to flatten him under her heel, but the only option she had was to bottle up her fury. Not only was Bali Yuyu an unknown guard that she had no confidence winning against, Zhuo Fan was, unfortunately, right. He was the demonic emperor's representative, and this involved the relations between Devil Mountain and the Ruby Cloud sect. She had no right to take charge here. What a darn shame, a bone-tempering bug had such power, but not her. Mei Sangu's anger flared once more. Dealing with Zhuo Fan was like losing 5,000 years of her lifespan. "Senior Aunt May, kill him already." "Shut up, are you an idiot to not see I can't?" Fang Min rushed her, but Mei Sangu took out her anger on her instead. "Dumb girl, you think I don't want to?" Zhuo Fan watched the play with an even smugger grin of disdain. Whoosh, a new figure came before them, and Zhuo Fan cried in joy, "King Cheng." Senior Aunt May, Master invited them into the hall. Chu King Cheng was icy, only bowing to Master and leaving right after. Zhuo Fan figured out why and shook his head. Using that stained paper must have angered her. Bali Yuyu shoved his shoulder to express, "Aren't you going to explain?" "Don't have to, since anything said at this point won't reach her." Zhuo Fan smiled broadly as he walked under the girls' guidance into the sect. They reached a quaint hall with a mature woman sitting on a high chair. Zhuo Fan knew her to be the enchanting empress of the 8 emperors. "It's been a while, old crone." The enchanting empress sized him up as he entered, smiling. "Steward Zhuo. Please sit, senior enchanting empress." Zhuo Fan cupped his hands, sitting in a bamboo chair with Bali Yuyu sitting next to him. Mei Sangu and the disciples stood on the enchanting empress's side, never leaving the two out of their sights. "Steward Zhuo is from Joy Town. Your name is bringing me unpleasant memories." Sipping her tea, enchanting empress pointed out, "He was authoritarian like you. Looking at Steward Zhuo is like seeing him. I wonder if there's a connection." Zhuo Fan smiled. "The demonic emperor said the same thing when he saw me, but I was born and raised in the Luo clan. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but the name was bestowed by clan head himself." "Oh, it's fine. Just recalling an old friend of days long past." "Old friend of yours and the demonic emperor?" Zhuo Fan said. "I'm quite curious if he's so alike me. Why would both seniors have the same reaction?" "Maybe your old friend must be quite amazing. I would like to hear more, ha ha ha." The enchanting empress stared hard and shook her head. "The same yet different, only the first impression is similar. Our friend never joked, was brooding and dark like ice, like a viper. Steward Zhu is calm by comparison, amiable." Really, the demonic emperor said the same, ha ha ha. Zhuo Fan sipped his own tea, his eyes flashing. Similar yet not, but actually also the same because I was reborn. Zhuo Fan came from the demonic emperor Zhuo Yifan, but that man had long ago died. The one before you is just Zhuo Fan, who experienced so much in the mortal domain. The enchanting empress, you will never see my past image no matter how much you scrutinize me. Zhuo Fan smirked and placed down the cup, good tea, hibiscus, and fresh water, soothing the heart and calming HTE mind. It's just like Ruby Cloud Sect, fragrant and filled with a woman's energy. Steward Zhuo knows his tea. Ruby Cloud Sect's mountain tea is gathered by our maidens with the tip of their tongue in early spring when they're still pure. No other place has such quality. Tip of the tongue, you say? Zhuo Fan rose an eyebrow, looking on the tea tray, which is King Cheng's. I'll have 10 kilos of it, thanks. The girls turned from him to Chu King Cheng, giggling. The enchanting empress smiled as well. Chu King Cheng blushed, glaring at him and warning him not to be frivolous. Zhuo Fan was still looking through the teacups, ignoring her fiery stare. Steward Zhuo is so funny. You're nothing like him, ha ha ha. The enchanting empress turned serious, having enough pleasantries. We've talked for so long yet I've yet to know what the demonic emperor's representative is doing here. Unsuccessful in his noble pursuit. Zhuo Fan placed the tea at the side and smiled. Nothing much, just a bargain to discuss with the enchanting empress. Bargain, exactly. Zhuo Fan grew serious. Enchanting empress must have heard by now that Sir is about to fight with the Falcon Emperor and the Wraith Emperor. They're testing the waters now with ill intent. The demonic emperor thus wishes to ask the enchanting empress to step in and mediate. Upon success, a great reward awaits you. The enchanting empress's brow shook, so that's why you're here. The Wraith Emperor and Falcon Emperor aren't easy to deal with either. With their ill tempers, they would hardly give me any attention. The only reason the two started this war is because they have Sir outnumbered. But enchanting empress, by coming forth and standing with Sir, it will be a tie. They would never try anything at that point and everyone would just fall back. The people would be fortunate to be spared from such a calamity. I see the demonic emperor wants my support to intimidate them. The enchanting empress squinted then refused. Steward Zhuo can return to the demonic emperor, for the Ruby Cloud Sect is not about to join such an ill event. Enchanting empress, we've yet to speak our terms. Maybe they'll be to your liking. There's no need. Stepping in can force the two to withdraw, but what about later? Their hatred would be directed at me. I'm not that narrow-minded to take such little gain and earn two emperors' disfavor. The enchanting empress waved him off. Steward Zhuo, you can leave. Send them on their way, girls. Disciples came over at once and offered, after you. Looking at her and then at the hesitant Chu King Cheng, Zhuo Fan sneered. He nodded and stood. I worked hard to convince the demonic emperor to win the enchanting empress over, but alas, ma'am is cold. I'll just have to take it up with the Sword Emperor and let him have the Nether Sea map. Wait, enchanting empress shouted at his words. What did you say, the Nether Sea map? That's your term, the Nether Sea map, Zhuo Fan nodded. It is, but not the original, just a copy. Copy, you have the nerve to say that. Mei Sengu flipped at the mere mention of the word. I still haven't paid you back for the last copy you gave me and now you bring your dirty rags here again. The enchanting empress was grave, staring at him. Zhuo Fan snickered. I was about to mention that. When I raised the proposal, I said I would risk my life to copy the map if you give me King Cheng. But what do? Return to the sect and leave me hanging. I'm not as gullible as King Cheng to believe your lies, but she insisted on having it or she would be scolded. I thus promised her and gave her a map. Zhuo Fan bent backward, sticking out his waist very suggestively, his tone a mockery. Ain't this a map as well? Well, not another sea map by any means, but I would rather have you spit fire at me instead of King Cheng. Zhuo Fan, Chu King Cheng was touched and looked, her heart melted. The enchanting empress was grave, and now. Is the map real this time? Of course, the demonic emperor personally offered the deal, so it can't be anything less than genuine. Zhuo Fan shouted. The demonic emperor planned to go for the head of the 8 emperors first, the Sword Emperor. He just had to show up, and the other 2 would easily fall back. But I miss King Cheng and hope to give the Ruby Cloud Sect some help. Thus I persuade the demonic emperor to find another worthy ally, recommending the enchanting empress. I did all this so that King Cheng and I could be together. I'm doing this out of personal interest since the Sword Emperor is enough to force the 2 back. So why even bother making another map? Enchanting Empress nodded. How can we be sure the map is real? When we give you the copy, we'll bring the real map as well so that you can see for yourself. You may also ask the Gambling Emperor to inspect it for any flaws. In that case, we agree to the Demonic Emperor's proposal. The Enchanting Empress shouted with resolve. Since this involved the Sword Emperor, the Falcon Emperor and Wraith Emperor would not direct their anger towards her. The Sword Emperor was there to take the lead and she'd be safe. With the agreement coming to a close, Zhuo Fan and Bali Yuyu said their goodbyes. The Enchanting Empress had someone walk them out, urging them to talk about the details later. The enchanting empress gazed into the distance once they were gone, sighing, "I can see why a bone-tempering cultivator got such a high position. He has a knack for it." The rash demonic emperor can be said to be soaring to new heights now. Senior sister, you believe he? From his proposal, not only could I not find any reason to refuse, but I also lost the right to haggle. Humph the brat poses as demonic emperor's representative, but he's smooth enough to make it look like we're the ones winning in this deal. The enchanting empress's eyes shone. King Cheng had no chance against his guile, thoroughly charmed. Sangu watched King Cheng closely. Don't let him take her. Mei Sangu nodded. Senior sister, I know exactly King Cheng's value. I won't let that nameless brat touch one hair on her. The enchanting empress nodded and smiled. In front of the Ruby Cloud sect, a sudden shout stopped the two from leaving. Wait, knowing full well why, Zhuo Fan put on a smile as he turned to his intended. King Cheng, you don't have to send us off. I still need to pay the Sword Emperor a visit. I would much rather be with you and go through a wedding, even raising a cute baby. Sigh, busy, busy, busy. Cut that out, who'd ever? Chu King Cheng blushed and glared at him. Then she whispered, Zhuo Fan, forgive me for getting the wrong idea about before. I thought you only wanted. My feelings for you are genuine. You don't have to say anything. You'll come to see it in time. Zhuo Fan held her soft hand and pecked her cute cheek. One day I will take you away from the Ruby Cloud sect. Feeling her cheeks burning, Chu King Cheng showed no anger, just lowering her head. She gave a faint nod and a smile filled with joy. Zhuo Fan said his goodbye, leaving with Bali Yuyu's piercing stare on him. Chu King Cheng watched them go, her deep gaze filled with emotion. 3 months later, on a lofty mountain range, two people walked by. Looking up at the few clouds surrounding a glorious palace, Zhuo Fan smiled and cupped his hands. I represent the demonic emperor and request a meeting with the sword emperor. Whoosh, 30 people surrounded them the next instant, holding swords or blades that glinted in the sun. Zhuo Fan cared not, while Bali Yuyu showed disdain. You call that a sword? Zhuo Fan, you have some nerve coming here when we still have a score to settle from Miss City. A familiar voice echoed as a man stepped out of the encirclement. Zhuo Fan smirked, cupping his hands. If it isn't young Master Su Zhensheng, it's been a while. Don't you give me that. Su Zhensheng sneered. You're just looking to get killed, aren't you? In Gambling Town, the gambling emperor's turf, we couldn't touch you, but now here you are in our own lands. You're practically begging for it. Brothers, sword formation. Kill the bastard and take revenge for Elder Liu. Yes, the men pointed their swords at him and a net shot for the two to cut them down. Bali Yuyu flashed in front of Zhuo Fan, releasing her power. Thunder echoed as icy lightning sword aura spread everywhere. Boom, upon contact, a deafening explosion tore the skies. The 30 swords were reduced to splinters, littering the ground. Their users, however, recoiled from the outburst of power and coughed blood. They slammed on the ground, too wounded to get up. Su Zhensheng squinted in shock, his voice shaking. Why you dare raise your hand in the Sword Emperor's land? You'll get yours, mark my words. Once I get my senior uncles, you're dead. And do they represent Sword Emperor Ao Changshan? Zhuo Fan sneered. Brother Zhensheng, you have to understand, I'm here on behalf of the demonic emperor to discuss with the Sword Emperor. As the Sword Emperor's disciple, instead of walking us in, you attacked us. It's not just disrespectful to the demonic emperor, but you have disgraced your Sword Emperor. Are his disciples so cocky to find him beneath them? Now you won't even allow his guests to see him? Is he held prisoner in there? Why you? Su Zhensheng choked, unable to speak as he sweated buckets. Right, this is undermining authority. It mustn't reach Master's ears or I'm dead. Whoosh. Another old face showed up then, dressed in white and having an elegant demeanor. Though he had no legs and floated, the elder gave them a dark look, shouting, the Sword Emperor will see you. Thank you. Zhuo Fan leaned and walked ahead. Bali Yuyu gave the old guy a look and followed. Elder Liu, Su Zhensheng began, but the man held up a hand. The Sword Emperor will handle everything. The old man led the way with Su Zhensheng at his side. The four reached a magnificent hall, with 18 lofty pillars looking like divine swords, majestic and kingly. In the center seat stood an old man with a white beard, a face covered in scars and a sharp gaze. What strong sword energy! Bali Yuyu grew grave, clenching her fists. The old man made her feel threatened, in serious danger of dying. Zhuo Fan grinned. Sword Emperor Ao Changshan, we meet after so long. What comes around goes around. With me gone, the second best for 10,000 years finally got the throne, ha ha ha. Whoosh, a cold wave flashed and Bali Yuyu caught a cold blade between her fingers. It was 7 feet long, covered in intricate dragon patterns. The tip was aiming straight for Zhuo Fan's forehead, merely an inch from killing him. That was too close, Bali Yuyu gasped, knowing it was for Zhuo Fan. She looked back at Sword Emperor on his chair. He stared at her as well, then laughed. Girl, good skills. Who taught you? Family legacy. Bali Yuyu stared at him with anger in her eyes. What does Senior Sword Emperor mean by this? Elder Liu floated on a seat next to Sword Emperor, looking coldly at the two. Su Zhensheng stood at his side. Sword Emperor began, "The boy took my junior brother's legs and thinks that being the demonic emperor's representative would absolve him of it. But you're only going to leave this place without your legs." "What?" Bali Yuyu glared at him. "You want Steward Zhuo's legs? I don't think so. Ha ha ha, you've lost any right the minute you entered my domain. I want his legs and nothing more out of respect for that demonic emperor brat, or did you think I'd stop there otherwise?" The Sword Emperor's power exploded, flashing in the two's faces. His pressure slammed like a mountain, making them gasp as even their yuan qi slowed down. Bali Yuyu panicked inside as sweat trickled down. They were far from able to take on the 8 Emperor's power. A deadly bloodthirst enveloped them, like a sea of needles aimed at their heart. Bali Yuyu was frozen in place by now, while Zhuo Fan took a casual step forward. "We came to give you the Nether Sea map." The Sword Emperor immediately stopped his relentless pursuit for vengeance, staring hard at Zhuo Fan. What was that?" "Sword Emperor, we came to give you the Nether Sea map." "Kill me and you'll never get the chance again." "Humph, you think it'll save you? Think again." The Sword Emperor flicked his hand, but then he went back to his throne, barking, "What the hell are you up to? Talk already before I lose the little patience I have left." Zhuo Fan cupped his hands. "Sword Emperor, it's like this. You must have heard by now how the Falcon Emperor and Wraith Emperor are moving. The demonic emperor doesn't fear them and only wants to spare the people the needless destruction and pain. Thus he is asking the Sword Emperor to mediate. You can't beat them, so you came crawling to me. Don't you think offering a copy instead of the original is a little insincere? My hands are tied. This is as far as the demonic emperor will bargain." Zhuo Fan sighed. "Seeing as the Sword Emperor rejected the proposal, we shall leave." The two bowed. "Wait," the Sword Emperor shouted. Zhuo Fan looked back. "Anything else I can do for you, Sword Emperor? Use it to cut off your legs and you may leave with your life." The Sword Emperor pointed at the sword Bali Yuyu threw on the ground. Bali Yuyu grimaced, awaiting Zhuo Fan's signal. Zhuo Fan smiled and sighed. He stared at the sword. "Sword Emperor, can I make amends instead? I would rather not go without my legs for the rest of my days. This is what you get for cutting my junior brother's legs." "I'm not as gracious as you might think. Sword Emperor, I told you that I can make amends. Just tell me what I have to do, short of cutting my legs. What do you have that's worth my junior brother's legs?" At Gambling Town, Senior Liu cut his 2 toes for the Nether Sea map. I figured using the same map in exchange for his legs should be worth it. I'm sure Senior Liu would have gladly given up his legs than just to earn the map. The old man eyed the Sword Emperor with a grave look, nodding. The Sword Emperor said, "Then hand it over, but can you take it from the demonic emperor? Not the original, only a copy if you don't mind." "Copy?" Sword Emperor glanced at Elder Liu to see him frowning, then nodding. "Anything's better than nothing. It shouldn't be fake either, right?" "Of course not. I have a way to prove it to sir, and you can even take it up with the gambling emperor to validate it." "That's settled then. The girl will stay here as insurance." Sword Emperor clapped, his decision final. Zhuo Fan snickered, bowing. "Sword Emperor, you don't need a hostage. All sir has to do is mediate the war and the demonic emperor will gladly offer the copy." "What?" Sword Emperor glared at him. "You're toying with me?" "Sword Emperor, I would never." "Outrageous. I deign letting you make amends by exchanging the Nether Sea map copy for your legs, but in the end, you're still dragging the demonic emperor into this. How is that making amends?" "Sword Emperor, please, I'm really doing what I said." Zhuo Fan bowed in panic. "To be honest, the demonic emperor already found an ally, the Ruby Cloud Sex enchanting empress. 2 against 2 would be enough to force the enemy emperors to withdraw. The matter with Elder Liu that day weighed heavy on my mind that I insisted on making another copy and having the Sword Emperor for an ally. The Sword Emperor is the head of the 8 emperors, lofty and respected. Your mere presence will smooth things over." However, the demonic emperor was disinclined towards this proposal. More copies meant, haha, you understand. So I worked 3 days and 3 nights to get the demonic emperor to accept the Sword Emperor as an ally. It's just a matter of mediating and sir will get the copy. It's hardly any different from doing nothing, isn't it? Isn't this ample proof of my sincere actions? The Sword Emperor paused, looking at Zhuo Fan's smile and said, "I can see now how you got a name for yourself in Gambling Town, thanks to that insidiousness and guile. With you by the demonic emperor's side, it's like having 100 more spirit kings." "Sword Emperor, you flatter me. That's no compliment, but reality." The Sword Emperor waved. "Fine, you can go. I'll agree with the demonic emperor's request. We'll now wait to meet and settle the rest. By the way, bring the gambling emperor as well to inspect the map." Zhuo Fan bowed. "Thank you so much, Sword Emperor. Farewell." Zhuo Fan and Bali Yuyu left. The Sword Emperor's face fell. "Rotten brat, so cunning that it makes me want to flay him alive, but I can't do nothing to him. Humph, just a bone-tempering cultivator yet." Bam. The Sword Emperor slammed the table beside him to pieces. Su Zhensheng started, "Master, we're just going to let him go?" Elder Liu's legs. Didn't he say it himself? He made up for it with the Nether Sea copy. Elder Liu looked downcast. But isn't that just a simple trade? It is, but in his view, it's making amends, so that's what it is. He also brought up the Ruby Cloud sect to corner us. We could forego the deal, but all we need to do is mediate, and we'll get a copy of the Nether Sea map. We can't let this easy win pass us by. But we could have still cut his legs. He made no amends, just speaking on behalf of the demonic emperor. A deal is one thing while retribution is another. Su Zhensheng's eyes flashed with cruelty. The Sword Emperor and Elder Liu shook their heads. "Ah Sheng, when you meet him again, strike him then and there. Don't ever give him the chance to speak. Why, the moment he does, you'd have lost all reasons to do so." The Sword Emperor sighed. "I could have done it at first, but lost my chance as he skirted around the Nether Sea map, the reason for the deal. With it in play, I lost all reason to deal with him. He represents the demonic emperor. Killing him means no deal when we truly want it to go through. The kid is bad news, able to save his skin and accomplish the demonic emperor's task." Su Zhensheng started and Elder Liu sighed. The debt for his legs would remain on hold for a long time. A month later, Zhuo Fan returned to Devil Mountain. Zhao Chen could hardly wait, questioning the minute he stepped in the hall. "Well, how did it go?" "Those two geezers have been growing restless these past months. They've taken 3 towns already. I haven't joined the fight since I've been waiting for you to give me a reply." Demonic Emperor Sir can rest easy knowing everything went as planned. Zhuo Fan smirked. The Enchanting Empress and Sword Emperor will be stepping in, all for just one copy of the map and nothing more. Now it's up to Sir to use them against each other. The Wraith Emperor and Falcon Emperor will come out heavily wounded at the least. Zhao Chen laughed. "Steward Zhuo, you're amazing to get 2 helpers so quickly." "Luck's on my side, ha ha ha. I'll send letters to them right away to have a talk and settle those geezers." "Brilliant, sir." Zhuo Fan bowed, his smirk obvious. 3 days later, Devil Mountain sent 2 jade slips. After 2 more months, the Sword Emperor and Enchanting Empress arrived with their forces, along with a fat man in fancy clothes. Wearing a decorated black robe, Zhao Chen took his 20 demon guards to welcome them, with Zhuo Fan in their lead, of course. "Sword Emperor, Enchanting Empress, it's been a long time. I'm thrilled to have both of your support in this matter, ha ha ha. Demonic Emperor, please, we came to do our part and receive our just reward, ha ha ha." The two replied back with respect. Sword Emperor went right to it. "Isn't it time to show us what you promised? We've gone to great lengths to bring experts to appraise it." The Sword Emperor made way as he pointed at a fatty behind. Zhao Chen cried, "Gambling Emperor, you're here too?" "Sure I am. In such a crucial situation, Sword Emperor insisted that I validate the items. I was also free at the moment, so I tagged along to enjoy the bustle. I'm curious if there's been any clues to unraveling the Nether Sea map after taking it from me." The Gambling Emperor smirked. Zhao Chen shook his head. "Gambling Emperor, you jest. Known for your sharp mind, if you, who had it for decades and couldn't crack it, how could I do so in only a few days? Then there's the recent trouble that came up, taking more of my time." "You're overthinking things. You don't have to remind me. The answer to the riddle is like gambling, up to luck, coincidence, and a whole lot of wisdom. I'm just a bit brighter, but not wiser, for true wisdom is unassuming and simple. Maybe your little friend managed to do it in a couple of days. Hey, are you two done? This is not the time to show off when we haven't even seen the map." The Sword Emperor cut the two's idle chatter. "Since this is a discussion among 3 parties, it will only be carried out on the premise of the map's validity." The Demonic Emperor and Gambling Emperor laughed, the former bringing them into the main hall. A 3-meter-long table lay in the center. Zhao Chen took out 3 boxes and placed them on it, opening each one to reveal 3 scrolls. The middle one had everyone's focus, confirming it to be the real Nether Sea map. The other 2 looked newer, obviously the copies. Unfolding them, they all looked the same, covered in black dots and circles. The lines at the top were also copied to the tiniest detail. "This is the real Nether Sea map." Unlike that, Mei Sangu had come as well, and her eyes shone as she sighed. Then she glared at Zhuo Fan, recalling the indignity he put her through with his sick joke. Zhuo Fan bowed towards Gambling Emperor. "Senior, please inspect the copies and see if there are any discrepancies so we may correct." "There's nothing to inspect about the original. It just can't be faked." The Gambling Emperor nodded. "The genuine map is made of ancient nether paper, filled with yin energy, making it impervious and eternal, the craftsmanship lost with time. Everything's about the drawing, whether it's done accurately. It's only a matter of matching the copies to the original." The Gambling Emperor leaned over to look closer. After many hours, he still said nothing. A day in, and he still found them to be identical to the real map. The others didn't disturb him in the process, since it involved the other 3's basis for cooperation. Only after the second day did the gambling emperor put them down and sighed. Yes, the copies are the same. The rest nodded, smiling. Now we shall help the demonic emperor in talking those two old guys into withdrawing so peace can be restored. The sword emperor turned lively, knowing that the map was within reach. The enchanting empress nodded as well, in full agreement. The sooner they were done, the sooner she got what she wanted. Zhao Chen shouted, "Hold on, I changed my mind." "You don't want to trade?" the sword emperor reacted. Zhao Chen shook his head. "Hardly, I just wish to add another condition. Don't you think it's too easy to get a copy by only talking? What do you propose?" The two frowned, having a bad feeling. Zhao Chen snickered, cupping his hands. "I ask that you promise me something. We all know the value of the Nether Sea map, and I wish to ask a favor of you two in exchange for a copy." "What is it?" "That all three of us act. Help me to take all of the lands owned by the Wraith Emperor and Falcon Emperor." "What?" The two flinched, with the enchanting empress shouting. Steward Zhuo clearly said it's only mediating. There was no mention of attacking. How can you just... "Yeah," Zhuo Fan also intervened. "Demonic Emperor, sir, when I asked sirs for cooperation, fighting wasn't part of it. Going back on it isn't. Right? What's so bad about it? And you have no right to talk here. Back off." Zhao Chen glared at him. Zhuo Fan sighed and stepped down. Zhao Chen turned to the other two. "When I sent Steward Zhuo to ask for your help, the war hadn't started. With you acting as mediators, it wouldn't matter then since no harm's been done. Now, those bastards took 10 of my cities. I'm not about to take this lying down. You may still be after brokering peace, but I've grown out of it." Humph. The two darkened, looking at the copies now and then. Getting them to attack over the copy was... "Demonic Emperor, I'm sorry to say this, but you're asking for too much." Zhuo Fan was grave, stepping in with a bow. "The Nether Sea map is valuable, but it is merely a faint hope. Deciphering it is still uncertain. Asking the Sword Emperor and Enchanting Empress to get involved in the war will bring them losses, and they have to receive adequate compensation. I propose that after their lands are taken over, the Demonic Emperor would split them with the two sirs, making it a common ground to act together, adding the two copies as well, and it sounds worthwhile." "Outrageous," Zhao Chen snapped. "You want to split my gains. Isn't that asking for much?" Zhuo Fan, on which side are you on? "Sir, I'm always on your side, but in business, both sides need to be satisfied. How else are they to help you?" "No, the most I can offer is 20 cities since I'm still throwing in the two maps." "Demonic Emperor, I believe Steward Zhuo's proposal to be reasonable. We will divide everything evenly among us three. That's the only way for us to involve our own forces." "Enchanting Empress, don't haggle with me. I'm even giving you the map," Zhao Chen roared. The Enchanting Empress said with a cold smile, "Right now, you're surrounded on all sides. What good will a piece of paper do when you're burning to the ground? In any case, if you want us to fight, we can, but we're not about to suffer for nothing. Sword Emperor, are you up for some charity?" "Ha ha ha, I'm no fool to accept such dumb demands." "Why you all?" Demonic Emperor gnashed his teeth, flinging his hand in the air. "Fine, have it your way. We'll split it 3 ways, that's our agreement. As for the maps, we'll have them, of course. Why the hell would you? Because those two came for you. It wouldn't bother us at all if we just stayed back while you needed us." Sword Emperor sneered. "The map is the reward for our cooperation." The Demonic Emperor was huffing and puffing in anger, but finally turned away. "Fine, do what you want, making me lose so much. And you? You talk too much." Zhao Chen pointed at Zhuo Fan, barking before going to his chambers. Zhuo Fan sighed while the two emperors were smug. The gambling emperor gave Zhuo Fan a long look, sporting a crafty grin. "The kid sure is something else. Steward Zhuo, we would like to make a copy ourselves. Could we?" Zhao Chen was gone now, and the enchanting empress asked Zhuo Fan. Zhuo Fan frowned, giving her a dark look. "We had the copies prepared already. Why would you bother for more? Do you doubt?" No, we just wish to feel for ourselves the fascination of the Nether Sea map." Zhuo Fan smiled after some difficulty. "As you wish, but please give your copy to the gambling emperor for keeping." "The gambling emperor is fair, always neutral. Once the deal is done, each of you can take your copy from him. We understand." The enchanting empress and sword emperor took out paper and started copying the Nether Sea map. Zhuo Fan sneered and sighed. "These geezers are the same, cautious to the extreme, ha ha ha." The sword emperor and enchanting empress were obsessed with the map at this point, taking their good time copying it and then comparing it for good measure. This whole process took a week before handing the paper to the gambling emperor. Zhuo Fan sent the 3 great people on their way as the representative of Devil Mountain to get ready for war. Zhao Chen looked to not have gotten over his loss in this deal and never showed up in the meantime. The emperors felt even more gratified by his demeanor, like they won big, so they saluted Zhuo Fan as they left. The gambling emperor gave him a long look. Demonic emperor has earned heaven's favor to have steward Zhuo by his side. He left flying under Zhuo Fan's watch and grin. "How was it? Did it work?" The demonic emperor strolled out and smiled in joy. Zhuo Fan bowed. "Sir, everything went perfectly. To get their copy as soon as possible from the gambling emperor, they're sure to help us crush the other two quickly. Ha ha ha, Steward Zhu is incredible, getting those two to fall for your scheme with a few words and coming to my rescue. They wouldn't have taken such a risk otherwise. Demonic Emperor, sir, all I did was play a little mind trick. Zhuo Fan's eyes shone. Asking them to fight for us by using the map as bait wouldn't have worked. So we had them act as mediators first, fooling them into coming to the talks before changing your mind. They were promised the map, but now that the gambling emperor has validated it and seeing it so close, they couldn't bear the thought of missing out. Then we played our little act, one with the other against them. Zhao Chen laughed. I gave them crumbs while Steward Zhu argued over honorable reward. Of course they'd side with Steward Zhu, but forgot to consider if they should join the war in the first place. It was truly smooth how they got dragged into fighting our war for us with none the wiser. Steward Zhu's skills are ingenious, way better than any advisor I ever had, ha ha ha. Zhuo Fan bowed. Demonic Emperor is too kind. I'm just ashamed of making Sir play the bad guy. It's fine, since it's only natural for me to play such a role. You'd come off as fake if you'd done it and the plan would fall through. What mattered was for this deal to work, and they wanted the Nether Sea copy, humph. Zhao Chen sneered. Zhuo Fan nodded with his own cruel smile. He took out the real map and splashed water over to clean it. They wanted to copy the original, never imagining we'd tampered with it, adding more black circles. They still have a fake in the end. It's all due to Steward Zhu's clever thinking, anticipating such a situation. You have my complete admiration. Zhao Chen's eyes flashed and both cracked up. Zhao Chen said, should we now gather the men and join them in raiding those old fools' lands? No, Demonic Emperor, we cannot join this war. Why not? Zhao Chen stated. Those two came for me and I have to be a part of this war. Steward Zhu, do you have another devious plot? Zhuo Fan gave a vague smile. Demonic Emperor, think about it. With 3 emperors, those 2 will fall, no doubt about it. But when push comes to shove, what of our allies? Knowing the enemy is going to be defeated, they would give their all to fight in anger and hatred against such indignity. Our losses would be huge, while our allies would just wait at the side. They would have some losses as well, while us and the enemy would be crippled, making them the real winners. Yes, none of those 8 emperors are good. They'll be sure to do this. Zhao Chen gnashed his teeth. Zhuo Fan grinned. Then when they fight, we just do nothing. The enemy would give their all against our allies, making them suffer while we watch them burn from a safe distance. When the outcome is obvious, we join in as allies and win everything. Isn't that better? Yeah, we won't lose 1 man and would get 1/3 of those 2's lands. Zhao Chen's eyes shone with joy. Steward Zhu, amazing as ever. I did say Demonic Emperor to look for adversaries and not allies and found I have. Zhuo Fan's eyes shone. Zhao Chen was over the moon, thrilled and oblivious at this careful net being laid out, meant to drag him down to hell as well. A month later, the Wraith Emperor and Falcon Emperor had no trouble at all taking 20 more of Demonic Emperor's cities. The rest of the world found it odd. Even with 2 emperors against him, Demonic Emperor wouldn't just sit still, right? Letting his lands be taken away without even a fight. The attackers themselves found it queer. Out of the blue, the neutral Sword Emperor and Enchanting Empress joined the fight against them. They looked to have been gotten ready just for this too. The war was thus in full swing, with each side having 2 emperors. As for Demonic Emperor, he showed no sign of joining. The enemy had no intention to duke it out with those strong crazies, so they withdrew from the Demonic Emperor's lands. The Demonic Emperor still hadn't sent 1 soldier on the front or recovered his lands. Uncertain, the 2 enemies set their soldiers at the borders, waiting for a week, only falling back for real when the Demonic Emperor still showed no signs. They now moved their soldiers to deal with the Sword Emperor and Enchanting Empress invasions on their lands. Their weakened borders led to the new participants having an easy time taking 10 cities. The enemy was furious, sending their armies to help while shouting curses all the time. We had no beef with you, so why the hell are you ganging up on us? This is absurd. The 2 rushed to counter, making the strong forces of the Sword Emperor and Enchanting Empress suffer losses. Another month passed and the newcomers took 5 more cities with their relentless assaults, though losses mounted to 40%. The Sword Emperor and Enchanting Empress felt it and swore on and off because of it. Not the enemy emperors, since they were just defending their lands. Their only gripe was, of course, with the Demonic Emperor. It was his mess to begin with, yet after more than a month, he still sat on his laurels, leaving them 4 to enjoy a nice day on a bloody battlefield. The Demonic Emperor had to strike the enemy's heart, and then the war would have been over and done with ages ago. He didn't do that, of course, letting the 4 emperors clash and entwine, making a resolution improbable in the short term. The Demonic Emperor would definitely hang the copy over their heads because of this too, making all the effort till now wasted. So the war went on with no one to direct it or stop it, just what Zhuo Fan wanted. 8 emperors, ha. Letting you rulers kill each other is the fastest way to fall. So go ahead, tear each other apart to your heart's content, ha ha ha. Shriek over the bloody battlefield, with limbs and corpses rotting in the blazing sun, a 2-mile-long bald eagle cast a dark shadow with its huge wings. On its back was a spindly man with sharp eyes. Senior sister, the Falcon Emperor has joined the battle. In a large tent, Mei Sangu rushed to report. 8 emperors frowned, the old man is here. Damn it, a fight among 8 emperors can't be avoided now. The war has to end now if we are to endure. Sangu, take the Ruby Cloud sect forces 50 miles back so that they do not get affected. Yes, Mei Sangu carried her orders. The enchanting empress' eyes flared and she flew out to face the Falcon Emperor above the hellscape. Old man, you're finally stepping in yourself. I thought you'd wait till the last man to show up. Enchanting empress, what did I ever do to you to invade my lands? We all work for our greed. You didn't do anything, but I'm entrusted with another's business. Enchanting empress' eyes shone. The Falcon Emperor squinted. A deal with the demonic emperor perhaps. I was wondering why would you and the Sword Emperor turn on us? Tell me, what did he promise you anyway? I'll just double it. Ha ha ha, Falcon Emperor, you think any random trinket could impress us? You don't have what he does, really. Then that leaves war as the only option. The Falcon Emperor flicked his sleeve, and the eagle beneath him shot for the enchanting empress with bloodthirst. Lofty falcon, the Falcon Emperor waved, and a golden falcon flew out from his body, high above, growing larger and larger as it enveloped the sky. It flapped its wings and shot golden feathers down like meteors. Everything in 1,000 miles was covered in craters. The ground quaked, the air warped, everything ended up reduced to nothing from the overbearing power. Both sides were wise enough to pull out their men, avoiding the pointless loss of millions of lives. Not even a spirit king could avoid that. They watched agape and in fear at the wanton destruction, thanking their lucky stars to be alive. They were also amazed at the 8 emperors' strength, way beyond any normal emperor. Senior sister, Mei Sangu, watched with worry. An eerie laughter jarred their ears. Ha ha ha, Falcon Emperor, using the imperial mark off the bat. You're going all out, I see. Whoosh, a swirling wind came out of nowhere, removing all the dust. A stem hundreds of meters long, adorned with golden lights and petals, emitting faint ethereal fragrance, winded its way upward, blossoming in this wretched battlefield. The enchanting empress sat upon it, showing mesmerizing charm and a coy smile playing on her lips. Imperial mark, heavenly jasper, the Falcon Emperor smiled. My ascending divine falcon soul rules the skies while your heavenly jasper soul roots in the endless earth. It's like a battle between heaven and earth. The enchanting empress said, the heavens and earth coexist as do yin and yang. Despite being opposite, they can't overcome each other, unlike us. For someone always falls. Humph, since time immemorial, the heavens are lofty and the earth is base. You're the one who shall fall. Let's see it then, shall we? The enchanting empress raised an eyebrow, shouting, high earth-ranked martial art, flower bloom, heaven-piercing forest. Boom, the earth cracked as golden vines snaked out of the ground, untold numbers shooting for the skies. They whistled as they rented the air, feeling like they were about to tear the heavens asunder. Falcon Emperor was grave atop his eagle as he avoided the incoming vines. The enchanting empress sneered, does a heavenly lord not deign to land? Enchanting empress, you're getting ahead of yourself. Uprooting these things is nothing to me. Falcon Emperor made a sign, high earth-ranked martial art, divine elusive falcon, airborne hunt. The golden eagle above exploded in a brilliant flash, sending golden motes of light in all directions. They shook, turned into miniature golden eagles in the millions. There was not a place that hadn't one. The enchanting empress turned grave, making the vines cover her. Bang explosions echoed all around her. Her tough vines were unable to withstand the finger-sized golden eagles, splintering and breaking with every impact. The Falcon Emperor sneered. The vines all crumbled, but the enchanting empress was nowhere to be seen. Her imperial mark, heavenly jasper, was gone as well. Then he noticed the ground had a dark hole 1 meter wide. The Falcon Emperor muttered, flowers live on the ground. Does that mean she hid beneath the earth? Bam. Dust flew everywhere as a root shot from under the earth straight for him. The deadly bloodlust made him flinch, jumping off the eagle on instinct. With a muffled sound, the giant eagle cried as it got skewered. The Falcon Emperor looked back and gasped. His huge eagle had half of its body gone, releasing a rain of blood, and its suffering plunged to the ground. In its place was a towering stem with a gorgeous flower at the end. Though this flower not only had thorns, but teeth and a bloody maw as it tore through the eagle's body. The blood pulsed through its veins down the stem, giving it a ghastly look. The enchanting empress was still atop her flower, giving him a wicked smile of contempt. To think the heavenly jasper is a carnivore. The Falcon Emperor clenched his fists and threw his hand out, making golden lights gather behind him to form a 300-meter-long golden eagle. Enchanting empress. You killed my mount, so I'm going to gut you like a trout and offer up your soul to my divine falcon. The enchanting empress said, Any slower and the 10th level spiritual beast wouldn't have been the only casualty. You lost back there and are still blustering about. Shut it, enchanting empress, today you're plucked one petal at a time. What did you say? The enchanting empress was outraged. I said you're plucked, die. The enchanting empress made a furious sign and her man-eating chair shot for the skies. The earth shook with its movements as thousands upon thousands of vines shot out as well, aiming for the Falcon Emperor. The Falcon Emperor was no pushover either, trembling and releasing a lofty eagle cry as he dived along with his golden eagle. The blazing sun above sent its rays to help, turning into firebirds in the millions. The sky warped and the earth caved as the two relentless cultivators unleashed their heavy attacks. Even as they had yet to clash, the thick and calamitous power they unleashed reeked of death. All spectators shuddered with the fight reaching do or die. Stop! A shout rent the skies, making the two halt their attacks. Whoosh! Understanding their situation, the man never thought of the possibility the two could pull back their attacks. And since you can't stop, I will handle them myself. Two booms echoed that startled everyone. At the peak of the skies, two white sword waves shot down, 100 meters in length, straight for the two. The rising vines got pruned down to their molecules, while the diving golden eagle got bisected, before turning into harmless lights. A 300-meter large image of a man carrying 18 swords on his back used his large hands to clasp on enchanting Empress Carnivorous Flower and Falcon Emperor's golden eagle. This, the two cried, spirit, body, soul. A saint. I am the sixth sacred mountain saint, he Zhuo Fan. The huge image held in the center of his head an eminent youth staring down at them. I heard of the 8 emperors going to war, bringing chaos and destruction among the people, so I came to put a stop to it. Give up, my attacks would have cut your souls and yourselves if they were aimed at your imperial marks. The two gasped and bowed. Thank you, saint, for your mercy. We're forever grateful. Cut the crap. We came out because of orders to discuss with the 8 emperors. But it turns out you guys are nothing but idiots to fight over fortunes. He Zhuo Fan decreed. You are to go to the Sword Emperor's place within the month. We'll talk there. He Zhuo Fan released his hold on them and vanished. The two emperors stood stock still, seeing the fear in the other's eyes. This saint had always been in seclusion. What's he doing out? The last time that he came out was due to 9 Serenity's secret records. Is this time because? The enchanting empress' heart sank. Curses, here comes another struggle for treasure. The sacred mountains are no saints after all. Humph. The Sword Emperor and Wraith Emperor were at their throats with their deadly attacks when an old man popped in to put a halt to their senseless destruction, telling them the 8 emperors were to gather. Thus, the curtain fell on the war of 5 emperors, with neither party coming out pleased. As the big bad boss above came down, the little guys could no longer act tough and do what they pleased. Mountains came. In Devil Mountain's main hall, the demonic emperor shouted out after the Sword Emperor's messenger left. Then his fury exploded and he smashed a good table to splinters. Damn them all. They just couldn't pick a better timing than right when things were getting heated up. I was just about to charge in and sweep everything, but they just had to butt in and ruin everything. So many losses, yet fricking nothing to show for it. Curse them. Hello, you lost nothing, you dunce. Why the tantrum? It should be the Sword Emperor, Enchanting Empress, and me in particular who should be raging. It was bad enough it took so much effort to enact such a bloody war, getting everyone to jump in. Now everything went out the window. I'm the one who lost everything here. 7 sacred mountains only ever acts out of need, which means... Zhuo Fan rubbed his chin in thought. Demonic Emperor, sir, news of Nether Sea map must have reached them. We'll have to hand the map over. Why the hell would I? Zhao Chen threw his hand. Zhuo Fan sighed. Yeah, after so much blood and sweat in keeping the original, only to give it all up makes me worthless to sir. However, no matter the value of the map, one's life is far more precious. Zhao Chen shuddered, recalling the lesson of his master dying at a saint's hand because of the 9 Serenity's secret records inside. Master was the boldest of the 8 emperors, and even under the other 7's attacks still stood undefeated. Only when a saint cursed those 7 sacred mountains. Zhao Chen raged inside, evident by his ragged breath, his face turning red. Zhuo Fan said, Demonic Emperor, sir, have you cracked the map by chance? It would make giving it up all the more easier. Crack it. You think you can up and resolve something so abstruse over lunch? Zhao Chen sighed. I wouldn't care about giving it up either if I had. Zhuo Fan's eyes shone. An idea struck me that might help. Oh, Steward Zhuo, you saw through it. I can't say for sure, just that I might know where to start. That's better than nothing. At least we could try it on a copy we make. Zhao Chen laughed, taking out the map. Steward Zhuo, what's your idea? Tell me. Zhuo Fan leaned and pointed out a corner. I was struck by an idea that this map might be just a star chart. Steward Zhuo, can you read the stars? Somewhat. With my low cultivation, I could only invest my time in other areas, lest I was content to remain pariah. Zhuo Fan continued, "Sir, look here, these corners seem to resemble star clusters, and this looks just like the night sky. It's just so hard to make it up with all of them so tight together." Zhao Chen frowned hard and exclaimed, "These extra black dots do interfere, Steward Zhuo. Just tell me about the sky area you can see while ignoring the one that eludes you. Demonic Emperor, sir, that's brilliant." "I was thinking the same thing." Zhuo Fan smiled and took out a paper to put over the other. "Look, sir, this is the rough star chart." Zhao Chen nodded, then his eyes lit up as he looked. "Isn't this a map of sacred domain?" "Good going, sir. The image formed does look like the sacred domain's map." "Ha ha ha, then follow the stars and draw out the sacred domain outline. Nether Sea must be somewhere on it, but where?" Zhuo Fan smirked as he played along. "I can't make out this part. The star positions the shape like 9 rings, maybe underworld star cluster. Wait, underworld? Right, diviners look at the sky to determine one's fate. If there's a bright star in the underworld star cluster, that means they're going to die," Zhuo Fan pointed out. Zhao Chen considered it then smiled. "Nether Sea must be where the underworld river is. The Death Star's location must be the door to Nether Sea. We did it. Nether Sea map's mystery is resolved, ha ha ha." Zhao Chen laughed wildly. Zhuo Fan bowed. "Amazing, sir, congratulations." "Come, Steward Zhuo, you're going overboard. Something tells me you cracked it already and only came here to tell me." Zhuo Fan shook his head. "Sir, I'm but a fool. You don't have to push the credit on me to stroke my ego. I could never have the heart to cast out such a talented genius like you, Steward Zhuo. So don't play the fool with me and suck up to me." Zhao Chen beamed as he put the map in his ring, patting Zhuo Fan's shoulder. "Once I get Nether Sovereign's cultivation method and become a saint, no, a sovereign, you'll still be at my side above everyone else. I won't ever forget your dedication, ha ha ha." "Thank you, Sovereign," Zhuo Fan bowed, snickering inside. "Since you want Nether Sovereign's legacy, by all means take it. Just be sure to take the rest with you, all right, ha ha ha." A month later, the 8 emperors took their closest people to the Sword Emperor's place. Despite being the owner in his home, he didn't feel like one. In his seat sat a youth, Zhuo Feng, and an old man next to him stood with a ruthless glimmer in his eyes. "Greetings, saints." Everyone below bowed. The elder said nothing, with Zhuo Feng speaking. "Rise." "Thank you, saint." The people sat and Zhuo Feng swept them with his cold eyes. "Where is demonic Emperor Zhao Chen? What may I do for you, saint?" Zhao Chen bowed at once, meek. Zhuo Feng demanded, "I heard you have the Nether Sea map." "Is this true?" "It is, saint." "Have you resolved its mystery?" "I'm but an oaf, saint. None of you are worthy of being able to unravel such a treasure anyway." Zhuo Feng sneered, not bothering masking his condescending tone. His voice was soft, yet strict as well. "Give it here." Zhao Chen took out the map and presented it. "Saint, here it is, as requested." Zhuo Feng nodded and took it for a closer look with a chuckle. Then he gave it to the old man. "You're not mad about giving it up?" The elder spared it a glance, then asked Zhao Chen. Zhao Chen showed an ingratiating smile. "It has been my only wish to offer the map to Saint. How could I ever be mad? I would have long come to you and offered it, but I feared disturbing Sir's cultivation." Leech, the others wore bright smiles but thought the same thing in their minds, cursing his despicable behavior. They were clueless that Zhao Chen had already seen through the map. "Good, I'll remember you." The elder looked skeptical as he stared Zhao Chen down. "Have you made any copies? I can give it to you to make one as a memento." Zhao Chen shook his head. "Saint, sir, you wound me. Since I offer you the map with all sincerity, I could never do such a thing. My only wish has been to serve Sacred Mountains. All our 8 emperors' duties are to maintain the world for Sacred Mountain, to let sirs reach higher enlightenment. How could we ever yearn for something like a sovereign's seat of enlightenment? I of course made no copies, ha ha ha." "You're really not bad." The old man nodded and showed a weird smile. "Much better than your master, Zhu Yifan at least. That guy didn't know his limit, trying and failing to rely on the demon sovereign's legacy to rise above the 7 sacred mountains. But you never even thought about it, settling down instead. Saint is most gracious." Zhao Chen bowed with a beaming smile. "Humph, I never got the chance. Who the hell would want you hanging over them? Who among the 8 emperors doesn't want to stomp you under their heels? It's only a matter of time before I will, he. Zhuo Fan next to him had a dark look, recalling how a saint came after his life and clenched his fists. "Those bastards from the 7 sacred mountains rely on the world's resources to seek Tao, but did they rise above its affairs? No, the 8 emperors rule half of sacred domain, but they would never escape their control. A bunch of fools who stand outside the secular world but always think of it, are stuck unable to reach the sovereign stage, only wasting the sacred domain's resources. Serves you right, any random mutt would have been flying if you've done it by now. Speaking of those truly touching the cusp of sovereign stage, then all those seniors I brought from the mortal domain with their world of experience and focused solely on Tao have a better chance than you. Fakers and posers got no chance." The old man placed the map in his ring, pointing out as he looked at the emperors. You all should take the demonic emperor's example and be sincere. Understand what you can and can't have, to not overstep your bounds in your schemes. Yeah, sir is absolutely right, ha ha ha. Beaming and bobbing their heads, the enchanting empress and sword emperor felt their hearts sink, reporting, Sir, we happen to get a copy from the demonic emperor, now resting in the gambling emperor's care. We leave it at sir's discretion. The old man grinned knowingly. The gambling emperor's heart froze and presented the copies with nothing but respect as absolute power demanded. Here are their copies, sir. Right. The old man huffed and took them, giving the papers but a glance as he snickered. You've been the first holder of the Nether Sea map. Is there anything else you would like to add? The gambling emperor offered another white paper. I had made another copy, sir. Gambling emperor, you're the sharpest of the 8 emperors. The Nether Sea map had been with you for so many years, yet not one word went around that you had it. I'm flattered, sir, but I meant not to hide it. It was to research it and find Nether Sea's location to offer it. The gambling emperor shivered under the old man's stare as he explained himself, but the former cut him off. That's enough. I'm well aware what it's on all of your minds. A word of advice, don't be too smart for your own good. Your little games are known to sacred mountains. I'd rather avoid having you end up like the demonic emperor of old. The 8 emperors lowered their heads in respect and fear. None could defy the saints. Zhuo Fan squinted and hatred burned inside. The matter is settled, you may go. I and Zhuo Fan have matters to discuss. Do keep in mind that there might be some changes among the 8 emperors recently, and you should have an idea about it. The old man's remark had everyone looking grave at the implications. Changes in the 8 emperors, does he mean someone will replace us? The people bowed and withdrew. Zhuo Fan recalled something and shouted, Enchanting Empress, stay. The enchanting empress looked at the rest as she was the only one left with the 2 saints, bowing. How may I assist you, sir? Enchanting Empress, you're one of the 8 emperors my father groomed. Zhuo Fan hooked his finger. Father trusts you the most. What of the matter you reported to father 100 years ago? Enchanting Empress smiled and nodded. Sir, King Cheng is good. Shouldn't you arrange a meeting then? Zhuo Fan's eyes shone. You raised the girl for so long. So don't you think it's time for her to come with me to sacred mountains? It's too sudden. Perhaps the ancient records do say her refusal will complicate things. Zhuo Fan sighed. My unique position and fear of arousing suspicion prevented me from bringing her into sacred mountains from the beginning. It would have been so much easier if we had just grown up together. Enchanting Empress nodded with the old man smiling. Zhuo Fan, don't worry, as the young lord of the 6th sacred mountain, capturing a girl's attention can't be easier. Am I right, Enchanting Empress? Yeah, ha ha ha. Enchanting Empress bobbed her head, feeling conflicted. That was before. Now the girl is only getting closer to another man. Maybe. No, it should work. That kid is nothing before the lofty young lord of sacred mountains. The 7 emperors left the hall and gathered around to brainstorm the reason behind keeping the Enchanting Empress. Sure, they all clashed on an average basis, with even having a war not a month ago, but before sacred mountains, they found a common ground to unite them and discuss their situation. What's the Enchanting Empress connection with the 2 saints? Why do they keep her back every time? Who knows? The broad has a large circle of friends. When dealing with Zhuo Fan, we were the only ones who knew about him. Even with our swift speed, somehow the saints got wind of it a bit too fast. Something tells me that she was the one who leaked it. Her, no way. With the coming of a saint, none of us would get anything from the 9 Serenity's secret records. Why would she do something that got her nothing instead? What's the point in bringing up the past? Now it's what matters. Sacred Mountains said they want to reorganize the 8 emperors. We need to consider our course. They went silent as they sighed. Zhuo Fan eavesdropped from the side, glancing at the closed hall's doors. Those rotten broads are with the Sacred Mountains. Regardless of Sacred Mountains' intent for us, we have no power. Rather than shaking our boots over what might come, we should go home, meditate, and clean house. Zhao Chen spoke first, cupping his hands. Goodbye. Zhuo Fan left with him. The others got curious. They knew the demonic emperor to be a powder keg ready to blow most of the time. So why was he so fine with how things turned out? Peculiar. The gambling emperor watched them go with a glimmer in his eyes. Something must be up. Maybe they don't care about Sacred Mountain's decision? That just can't be. A week later, Zhao Chen was back in his hall on Devil Mountain, alone with Zhuo Fan. Ha ha ha, Sacred Mountains. Once I find the Nether Sovereign's seat of enlightenment and gain his legacy, there'll be nothing. The age of a sacred domain dominated by Sacred Mountains is over. The time for my rule has come. Zhao Chen said with excitement. Steward Zhuo, gather the men at once, but only the most loyal to go with me in search of Nether Sea. Zhuo Fan bowed and shook his head. Sir, there's no rush. The saints have yet to leave. They might just be coming for us once we move. Right, Steward Zhuo. With those bastards here, they'll be sure to mess things up. I don't want to end up like my master. Zhao Chen said, Steward Zhu, when should we act then? We can take our time since no one can resolve Nether Sea's riddle overnight. Waiting won't change anything. Once the annoyances are gone, we can start then. In the meantime, Sir is to be on your best behavior in looking after your lands to raise no suspicion. Right, we'll do as you say, guard. Zhao Chen followed Zhuo Fan's proposal and gave another 30 cities in the Luo clan's care, besides the hundreds of rich lands and spiritual thick mountains. The Luo clan became Devil Mountain's #1 figure. Everyone under the demonic emperor knew that the first demon guard by his side held half of Devil Mountain's power. Zhuo Fan, the steward, was even more powerful, despite the lousy cultivation. The Luo clan was outstanding as well, handling these new places with precision and honor. In only 3 months, the demonic emperor's cities were transformed and lively, with all the efforts focused on their rightful administration, to the point that the saints looked impressed, leaving for sacred mountains with ease. The moment they were gone, Zhao Chen's ambition knew no rest. Steward Zhu, we can begin. Let's wait 3 more months just in case. Zhuo Fan remarked, making the rash Zhao Chen fretful and anxious. Zhuo Fan not just had the demonic emperor's ear now, but even got him to listen. This was the devious and twisted methods of the great Zhuo Fan. Zhao Chen had a great advisor by his side, and not listening now would only leave himself to blame when he lost everything. Zhao Chen knew this as well, which was why he did not flat him on the spot in a fit of rage like he did with all the other fools he had under him. Who's the demonic emperor here, you or me? The 3 months passed quietly, and sacred mountains showed no sign of moving. Zhao Chen's limited patience was running out. Steward Zhu now should be good. Sir, let's be off in search of Nether Sea, Zhuo Fan nodded. Zhao Chen was bouncing in joy, laughing like he already got the Nether Sovereign's precious cultivation method. Zhuo Fan smiled at his childish act, looking at the sky, so peaceful like the calm before the storm, ha ha ha. Whoosh figures landed in a thick forest, with demonic Emperor Zhao Chen in the lead. Behind him was Bali Yuyu, who brought Zhuo Fan, as well as a young lady that glanced about. Steward Zhu, are you certain the entrance is around here? Zhao Chen asked Zhuo Fan, who glanced back at Shuinger. This is the place, right? We can't make any mistake. It is demonic emperor's great undertaking. Big brother Zhuo, I recognize this place from the stars. It's the right place. Shuinger nodded with confidence. Then she turned grave and squinted at the sun. The Death Star changes based on the world revolutions and humanity. I need to be certain of its position today before I can say any more. This shows the path to Nether Sea changes as well. Zhuo Fan nodded and said, Demonic Emperor, sir, leave it to Shuinger. She will find the entrance. The Luo clan is filled with talents. A young lady actually can read the stars, a true gem. Zhao Chen sighed, it's my fortune to have the Luo clan come to serve under me. Zhuo Fan smiled, Demonic Emperor, sir, is too kind. We have nothing but some strange skills from all walks of life. We still need Sir's guidance. I only hope that when Sir soars, you would remember our efforts today and look after us. It's my only wish. Rest assured that I won't ever forget you devotion, ha ha ha. Zhao Chen laughed, then stared at Shuinger as she took 2 steps east, 3 steps west. This girl looks to know her stuff, but the wait is killing me. After a long and slow period, Shuinger kept her constant pacing around the forest. As the sun set, she still wore a deep frown. Zhao Chen was tense, thumping with her every step. Can she really do it? With no diviner in his ranks, he could only rely on her. Shuinger lit up and stood firm, found it. At the 128th degree of the ecliptic, the Death Star's deviation shifts the central palace and changes the world below. This is the place, Shuinger stomped with confidence. Zhuo Fan lit up and came to look. This is the Nether Sea entrance, but how do we get in? Zhao Chen stared down at the grass and asked. Zhuo Fan smiled, taking out hundreds of sacred stones and setting up an array. Every secret path has to be connected to pocket space. This is the ancient piercing cloud array, and by finding the right door, we can link the worlds and open the barrier to travel. Ancient array, Zhao Chen eyed Zhuo Fan, you know them. All are kept by sacred mountains, how? Zhuo Fan smirked, clan legacy, but only a couple and not stockpiled like sacred mountains, hee. Sir, let's hurry and open the door, the Nether Sea is right ahead. Zhuo Fan rushed Zhao Chen, egging him on. With Nether Sea, Zhao Chen forewent Zhuo Fan's suspicion, overtaken by excitement. Zhuo Fan made signs. The gates of the abyss open wide, spirits and souls stay on the other side. For the path of the Nether's sovereign I stride, follow me, my comrades, with courage as our guide. The array flared to life with blinding lights before a beam of light shot into the sky, connecting with a bright star high above. Shuinger cried, it's the Death Star. This is the way. The Nether Sovereign used the Death Star to seal it. To open it, you must pass through the Death Star as well, then enter the Nether Sea. It's just like the map said, then I'll go to Nether Sea for Nether Sovereign's cultivation method. Zhao Chen shouted in excitement. It's Providence. Heaven wants me sovereign, ha ha ha. A creepy laugher came just as his reached the peak. Ha ha ha, demonic emperor, you really did crack the Nether Sea map. You didn't let me down, waiting for half a year. Who said that? Zhao Chen shouted and grimaced as he looked back at the familiar fat man. Brother demonic emperor, what I couldn't do in decades, you did it in just a year. You have my respect, gambling emperor. Zhao Chen ground his teeth. What are you doing here? Did someone leak it? There was no need, for I planned on watching anyone who had the map from the moment I threw it away. But I gave it up. Why are you still stalking us? True, you did give it up, but your acting was too obvious something was up. The gambling emperor snickered. All of sacred domain knows of your boiling rage and temper. You just got the map, then forced to hand it over soon after, yet you were more than happy to. Something's just isn't right here. Then when we left the hall, you ran away on the spot, becoming even more suspicious. Sure, the possibility of cracking the map was highly improbable, but I still tailed you this half a year every minute on the hour. Lo and behold, you haven't let me down, finding the entrance. Demonic Emperor, thank you for that, ha ha ha. Zhao Chen balled his fists, his eyes spitting fire. He twirled to find this place only to let others take it. Zhuo Fan watched in silence, snickering in his mind. He long noticed the gambling emperor's gaze and merely omitted mentioning it. That was why he leaked the truth of the map to Zhao Chen when news of Saint's appearing came. Zhao Chen would then hand over the map and draw attention with his weird behavior, all to fan the flames of conflict. The Five Emperor War ended up a bust, but now you'll be sure to fight to the death. There's but one Nether sovereign legacy, and you must keep it a secret as well. Now fight and kill for your survival and future, Zhuo Fan sneered inside. The two were about to do just that when a proudful voice came. Oh, demonic emperor, gambling emperor, you guys found the entrance and plan on having it all to yourself. We did have a deal, no, so shouldn't you share it with the Ruby Cloud sect as well? Enchanting Empress, the two whipped their heads back. Whoosh, the enchanting Empress brought a dozen disciples with her as she floated down with a smirk. The two huffed with demonic emperor demanding, gambling emperor, this broad has a loose tongue. Let's just deal with her first, then settle the Nether Sea afterward. It's always best to lower the shares. Agreed, the gambling emperor gave a cold smile, ready to kill. The demonic emperor took a step forward, his eyes cold. The enchanting empress mocked them. You two are so cruel, and we even worked together too. Gambling emperor, weren't you always fair? Now you two are ganging up on a poor frail soul. There's no ganging, but you're just too meddlesome. Zhao Chen laked black energy. I gave you the copy that you ended up handing over. All cooperation between us is gone. Since this isn't the gambling table, there's no room for honor. Gambling emperor sneered. The enchanting empress smirked. I knew you weren't going to be fair, so I brought someone who would. You won't get rid of me that easily. The two grimaced, their hearts sank. The hag brought help. Who? The sword emperor is. Hey, punk, are you still having that idiotic dream of taking my junior sister? Well timed to smell the roses, for she already has a man. Fang Min came up to mock Zhuo Fan. Zhuo Fan frowned. Two familiar figures appeared just then. One was Chu Qingcheng and the other was the young saint, He Xiaofeng. His hand was snaked around Chu Qingcheng's waist as he floated down with a grin. Curses, my wife's been snatched after half a year of not seeing each other. Zhuo Fan shuddered, balling his fists. Zhao Chen and the gambling emperor panicked. Why you didn't return, saint? Like a match made in heaven, they deigned the world with their presence as He Xiaofeng sneered. Chu Qingcheng looked away, unable to meet Zhuo Fan's eyes. He Xiaofeng had her soft hands gripped in a vice, preventing her from moving away. Rotten lowlife, Zhuo Fan grimaced, feeling like decking the bastard, but he recalled the bigger picture and reined in his anger. He'd get his chance sooner or later. This isn't over. You don't look too pleased to see me, ha ha ha. The two landed, and He Xiaofeng mocked them as he said, I've been staying over at the Ruby Cloud sect for a few days. Finding Miss Qingcheng so charming, I had my senior uncle return. Are you perhaps against my coming? The two bowed at once. Never. Then let's return to the matter at hand, shall we? He Xiaofeng looked at the light pillar, demonic emperor, gambling emperor, who can explain what exactly you are doing here. What is this, pompous bastard? They had no choice but to bow, with the demonic emperor beginning, Saint, I found that offering the map to sacred mountains was not enough to show my devotion. Therefore I spent the last 6 months pondering hard before I found the Nether Sea entrance. I was only thinking of taking the lead and removing any dangers that might appear, paving the way for you. Oh, you cracked it without the map. Demonic emperor, I tip my hat towards you. He Xiaofeng's tone dripped with sarcasm. Zhao Chen continued, it's because of my deep devotion to sacred mountains, my endless pursuit to work for them that gave me the courage and blessing to help you. My meager mind could have never come up with the solution otherwise, ha ha ha. Good boy, Toady. He Xiaofeng sneered, you're the last disciple of your master, no. I never got to see him, but I heard that the demonic emperor of old was arrogant even against saints, always so self-important. How did he even get a disciple like you? Zhao Chen winced, then shook his head. That's why he died. I want to live so I would never betray the saint's kindness. The enchanting empress sank in thought as well. Unlike the staunch demonic Emperor Old, this one had no backbone, becoming someone's dog. But were they any different? They turned into dogs much sooner, perhaps, with only Zhuo Fan remaining firm in his stance. The enchanting empress and gambling emperor lowered their heads. Zhuo Fan squinted and sighed. Coming back to sacred domain, the only thing he feared was the heavenly sovereign finding him out. His main purpose was to find King Cheng, but it wasn't his true reason for coming back. Providence worked in mysterious ways. Maybe he had returned only to finish what Zhuo Fan had started. Looking at you so meek, I guess I'll believe you for now. Zhuo Fan sneered at his dog, turning to the light pillar. This is the Nether Sea entrance. How do we go in? The demonic emperor bowed. We don't know. We've been trying to figure out when Sir came. So then do you have any idea? The two shook their heads. Gambling Emperor proposed the entrance might be a teleportation array taking us to Nether Sea. Oh, care to test that theory, Gambling Emperor? Me? Yes, you. No, Saint, better leave it to our men just in case. I told you to go and you refuse, Zhuo Fan barked. The 8 emperors are the next strongest here beside me. If you're all right, then I'll be fine. If you're in trouble, I'll be cautious. Curse you, using me as your guinea pig. The Gambling Emperor's face sank as he resigned himself. He walked to the light. It might be fine, but it could also kill him. He still had to go either way. The Gambling Emperor walked in with hesitation and anxiety. Light enveloped him and he found everything to be fine. He looked around to find himself in the same place. What's going on here? Zhuo Fan shouted. Gambling Emperor, did you find anything? Can you see the way in? No, there's no difference from outside, only a bit stiffer. The Gambling Emperor shook his head with a frown. Moving his limbs, cracks echoed like something snapped. A fading glow then fell from the star above and then hit his body. The Gambling Emperor's fine hair turned white just then. His fat body shriveled as wrinkles appeared on his face. The Gambling Emperor panicked and rushed to leave, but just as he raised a leg, he crumbled to dust. Even his clothes were disintegrated. SSS, everyone gasped, even Zhuo Fan. He aged and died in mere moments under their very eyes. Gulp, everyone felt their skin crawl. Zhuo Fan shook as he glared at Zhao Chen. Demonic Emperor, what the hell is this? Are you positive this is the Nether Sea entrance? Saint, I am. Passing through must be done through a test, I fear. Zhao Chen looked at Zhuo Fan. Steward Zhuo, what is this? Why did he turn to dust just by stepping in? Zhuo Fan pondered with a grave look. Shuanger lit up and pointed at the star above. It's the Death Star. It would unleash its death energy on any that want to enter the Nether Sea, taking their lives. Because there was so much of it seeping into his bones, he died as if he aged thousands of years, even rotting his bones. Even the entrance has a test. Zhuo Fan nodded and said coldly, the Nether Sovereign's seat of enlightenment must be amazing indeed. Not just anyone can enter. Zhuo Fan took out the original map and recited, in Nether Sea's depth, the endless hell where lost souls roam, their fate foretold. Who dares to tread upon our shore shall be condemned to suffer more, with mortal eyes forever blind in the abyss their souls confined. This is clearly a warning. No man can step into the Nether Sovereign's seat of enlightenment lest they die. Even finding the Nether Sea entrance was pointless, since one just dies in the end. Since we can't go in, forget it. Zhuo Fan sighed and looked at the light beam with desire. The rest shook their heads. The Nether Sovereign's legacy was taunting them, but life was more important. Without it, the legacy was moot. Wait, Zhuo Fan shouted, his eyes shining. Maybe there's a way. You know how? Zhuo Fan sneered. The Nether Sea killed an emperor, and even I don't dare step in, but a puny bone-tempering cultivator has what it takes. Die then, humph, Zhuo Fan smiled. The Nether Sovereign is an ancient sovereign, so not anyone could just enter into his seat of enlightenment. One needs his guidance to pry into the mysteries of the world and enter. His guidance. What is that? Zhuo Fan started. Zhuo Fan pointed at the map. Didn't you just read it? This is a warning for no one to enter. A true warrior does not balk in the face of absolute death. You see it as a warning, while I see it as an invitation. Zhuo Fan grinned. Nether Sovereign showed us the way inside. What? They all stared at Zhuo Fan in disbelief. Where does it say that? There's no mention of it at all. Fan said, the Nether Sovereign said in his guiding poem that lost souls may roam in the Nether Sea, lest they will be destroyed on sight. That's why the Gambling Emperor had such a grisly death. Everyone nodded. You mean to say only the dead can enter? Zhuo Fan rose an eyebrow. Once you're dead, what's the point? Zhuo Fan shook his head. The Nether Sovereign says that a living body can't enter or they die, not that entering means death. The roaming lost soul part means renouncing the flesh so you may drift towards the Nether Sea. Renounce the body, what do you mean? It points at the soul, leaving the body behind so you may enter. Zhuo Fan spoke firmly. Everyone hesitated. That was just too dangerous. A mistake from Zhuo Fan's part meant they would all die. Zhuo Feng was grave as he pointed at Zhuo Fan. Is that your idea? Then go test it yourself. Bali Yu growled from behind in anger. Zhuo Fan tried to stop her. Zhuo Fan had a cruel smile. Sorry, but one needs to be at ethereal stage at the least to wander as a soul. I'm in the bone tempering stage and can't do it, ha ha ha. Then you go, Hump snapped at Bali Yu. Since you talk too much, you'll go instead. Bali Yu was ready to blow. The only thing keeping her from snapping his neck was that he had power beyond her imagination. Zhuo Fan sighed. Fine, I'll go myself. Yu, stand back. Isn't it impossible for you? I just realized our clan's secret art and can soul drift even at bone tempering stage. Zhuo Fan showed an evil grin. It's all thanks to the saint's reminder, or I would have completely forgotten about it. Zhuo Feng sneered. Then go already. Use actions to prove your undying gratitude for yours truly. I shall pave sir's way. Zhuo Fan gnashed his teeth and showed a dark smile. He then sat down to pop out his soul. Bali Yu started. Wait, I'll go instead. No, it's fine. You and Shuinger can wait outside and look after my body. Zhuo Fan spoke and turned to the light pillar with uncertainty. It was just a guess he had about the poem, nothing more. He either nailed it or his soul would get nailed. He could only gamble. Any other nobody could have done this job, but the saint was clearly singling him out to get rid of him. Refusing would just give an excuse to kill him. Since he gambled, let Providence decide. Let's hope luck's with me and I don't end up like the gambling emperor. Zhuo Fan grew stern and he closed his eyes. A faint image floated out of his head, drifting for the light pillar. The others forgot to breathe while watching him test his theory. If a bone-tempering soul had no trouble passing, then it had to be safe. If the soul popped, then they would just think of another way. Everyone was tense and on edge, some over the outcome, others for Zhuo Fan's safety. Chu Qingcheng was worried for Zhuo Fan's soul as it ventured near danger. But with Zhuo Feng holding her back, she could do nothing. Hurry up and enter. Zhuo Feng was impatient from excitement, even easing Chu Qingcheng's hand. Chu Qingcheng yanked it out of his grip and sat down. Another faint image appeared over her head and she shot for the pillar. Zhuo Fan, wait, I'll try. Zhuo Fan blinked as an image shot by him into the light. Only then did he realize, Qingcheng, don't. He also went in. Whoosh, both of them ended up entering at the same time, causing the enchanting empress to shout, Qingcheng. They were beyond saving now. No one went in after them either, only staring at the light pillar. A wave of power shot out as the pillar joined with the heavens. The Death Star shone above and the two souls inside floated higher towards it, gone in an instant. The souls survived and teleported. Zhao Chen cheered. Steward Zhuo's theory is right. You need to let go of your body to enter the Nether Sea. Ha ha ha, Steward Zhuo is a genius indeed to solve this riddle. Now we can venture safely inside the Nether Sea. Bali Yu nodded, relieved. She cared not about the Nether Sea, but for Zhuo Fan. The enchanting empress and the girls were excited. Saint, there's no problem and we can go in. Right, Zhuo Feng was thrilled, then he regarded the demonic emperor's group. Demonic emperor, walk with me. Enchanting empress, you stay behind and look after my body. The enchanting empress panicked, but young master why let them join you? I also want to go to the Nether Sea. Enchanting empress, Zhuo Feng shouted, sending her. You belong to my father and I trust you the most. The demonic emperor is too devious. I'm taking him along to watch out for his tricks. You stay behind and look after his people and stop them from doing anything. This is the safest solution. Don't betray my father's trust in you. The enchanting empress nodded. Young master thinks of everything. And that Zhuo Fan. Zhuo Feng's eyes flashed with murder. You're right, Qingcheng cares for him, running into danger for him. If he survives, it would only hold Qingcheng back, even if a mere bone-tempering cultivator. Sir wants to, I'll take his life inside the Nether Sea. No, the enchanting empress advised, killing the person Qingcheng cares about and you may never get her heart. Qingcheng needs to be devoted to you for your plan. I know her heart is more important than her man. I'm not that impulsive. Zhuo Feng gave an annoyed wave, humph, but with the Nether Sea so deadly, he might come upon a little accident. All that remains is for Qingcheng to never find out about it. The enchanting empress nodded. I'll leave it to young master Just be sure to hide it. You think I don't know that? Zhuo Feng huffed, then his soul came out before everyone. Demonic emperor, hurry up and join me. Zhao Chen figured out his intent and gave Bali Yu a look to get ready for anything, before letting out his soul and following Zhuo Feng. The two entered the light pillar and vanished. The two groups looked after the bodies. Two light pillars shone down and faded to reveal two people, a man and a woman. Looking at herself and finding she was solid, Chu Qingcheng started, we can enter with our bodies. I thought only souls could enter. Did you know my soul is a white lotus? I thought you wouldn't recognize me. We're in yin bodies, probably because we're in the Nether Sovereign's seat of enlightenment. Zhuo Fan came before her and sighed, silly girl, why did you risk yourself for me? If my theory was wrong, you'd have died.